Love.
R- Welcome back to the Chop Shop. It is Aaron,
And I am Damon.
and we are back for a equally exciting draft prospect episode.
Hell nah, it's gonna be way better. We got
Yeah.
bums in the last one, studs in this one. This is a super defensively driven draft, and I love my defense. So
Oh, 100%. Honestly, dude, like I knew this was the consensus, and I mean, you know me, I'm not. I don't nerd out on the draft like a lot of people do. For some reason, I don't know. I'm a little bit more drawn to free agency and that kind of stuff, the drama. I'm very much a reality TV football fan. So
and with them being able to pick where they go, it is a lot more interesting. Because like with the mock drafts, you tend to get players where like, oh, I should like they probably would take this guy here, but they're gonna ruin his career, so I'm not going to. It's like, oh well, you don't actually get that option in the draft. Like
yeah,
if you're getting your career ruined, it's just gonna happen. So
I think with the draft too. It's just there's so much uncertainty, and I've just been so wrong about so many guys, and you out there, you've been wrong as well. Y'all have been wrong. Everybody's been wrong about so
pridefully
much.
admitting some of them too.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm wrong, and it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, like one of my favorite draft picks for the Bears ever was Leonard Floyd.
It's a good one.
I mean,
He's still around, man. He's still
yeah,
doing stuff.
and he was solid for the Bears.
Yeah.
And so like, whatever, but I
I
thought that was gonna be
remember
way different.
I remember telling my old coworker the Bears are never gonna trade for Khalil Mack because they have Leonard Floyd, which
Well,
is probably like funniest thing ever. But I pretty famously hated the Justin Herbert pick. I thought he was gonna bust, and yeah, it's pretty easy to be wrong about people. So,
yeah,
uh,
for
but you
sure.
know, it's that time where you get to hope and you see the biggest potential out of everybody, and you get to see them when they're the best, and who knows, maybe you find a random splash late.
I was probably a little bit more excited about it for obvious reasons, like as a Bears fan the last few years. I think that excitement does get like tripled, quadrupled even if you're like in the top 10,
Oh
especially
yeah,
because that
it's so
usually
much
means
fun.
that you were awful all year, so you couldn't even watch your team play good football. So it's like, yeah, if you're in the
You
top
get to be
10,
an
it's a
off-season
little different
champion.
story. Yeah. Especially 2 years ago when we had two top 10 picks, that was crazy.
I hate having a
Man,
pick in, like, the teens. That's always so stressful. Like, once you get into, like, the 20s and stuff, it's kinda just, like, a day 2 pick that you get to pick on the first night, which, you know, as long as
yeah.
you don't have too high of expectations, it all usually tends to work out, so
Yeah,
what really sucks is when you trade out and you stay up for 4 hours waiting for your guy to make a pick.
depending, on the situation, but yeah, I mean, usually that's gonna be, if it's for like a player or something like that, maybe I could see that being kind of cool, but
Mhm.
sometimes those can be kind
Yeah,
of snoozy trades.
for the Eagles trading for AJ Brown, yeah, it's way more exciting when you trade out.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, I did want to just briefly mention before we got into it, my boy PCA signed his extension. The numbers came out today about it. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm not super up to date on baseball numbers. And also without the salary cap, it kind of does make contracts all over the place anyway. So, um,
Honestly, like, not losing him to the Dodgers is a dub no matter what.
exactly. That's kinda how I feel. From what I saw, it looked like a hefty deal, but it's also kind of like an unorthodox deal. They were billing it as like he's the highest paid player to sign away, like, at his years of arbitration. I don't know. I'm not that crazy into the financials on baseball.
Yeah.
It was hefty, but it came with a lot of qualifiers as to why it was hefty. It seemed like a fine contract to me. I like the fact that he's going to be a Cub. It's cool to lock him up. Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, man. World Baseball Classic runner-up, Pete Crow Armstrong. He, no, I mean, it was whatever. I mean, he was
He was solid.
I'm sure he's on there more for, like, defensively too and stuff, and then also
Yeah,
base running and all that, but yeah, no,
yeah. Like
he's nice, and he was like you said before, he was like our MVP runner-up for a good while, and
Mhm. He slumped after that. He slumped his way out of that conversation. But when you're talking about a guy that's in his first handful of seasons, already kind of even having a stretch of baseball where that's something that's possible, I'm cool with it. You know, there's so many things about his game that you simply cannot teach. You can maybe teach somebody to improve upon, like, stealing bases, I guess. I also feel as if that's something that kinda that has to come naturally a little bit.
Mhm.
I think
The
it can
room
be
for
kind of a
error is
hybrid.
just so small, like
It Yeah, and he was so awesome at it last year, at the 30-30 season, and you can't really teach speed either, and he's got that. I think he's one of he's in one of the top tiers of, outfielders in the league. So I don't think it's at all a bad deal. We're celebrating over here, so I don't know. I like
keep
the
the
move.
player
He's
on
my
the
favorite
field,
player.
man. I think that's always a good thing.
Yep. And I do have a little special love for Pete Crow Armstrong, mainly because I've never been more right about a player in my whole life, like in any
It
sport.
always helps.
It just feels so good, man. I remember there was a lot of questions, but, there were, like, 2 sides of the Cubs fan base with him that, a lot of people, really wanted to see more and, whatever, because he had a handful of games a couple seasons ago, not enough to even qualify as his rookie year, yada, yada. And what I saw, I was like, "No, this guy's gonna be awesome. Keep him around." I think we acquired him in the Javier Baez trade to the Mets. He was
Oh,
a
shit.
prospect we acquired in that.
Hmm.
So, yeah, pretty cool.
Those guys are always, like, closest to you, though. I remember, like, I was so happy we took Dan Henley. So, like, as soon as he started breaking out, I was, like, screaming about it. I was like, "Yeah, he's the GOAT.
Yeah.
Watch Dan Henley." Yeah, him and Ladd, both. They were both 2 of my specialties, but
Yeah.
you,
But, we don't run a baseball podcast though, so
we don't. Maybe one day. Maybe one day we'll talk
maybe
about
one day.
baseball.
We do like to cover our football, so that's what we'll get into, baby.
What do we wanna
Um,
start with? What position? What player? What? Do we wanna
I'll I'll give a little brief introduction here. I didn't really fully break down prospect grades and things like that, but I referenced them a lot, and I just kind of maybe want to clear that up a little bit before we get started because sorry guys, we'll drop the fourth wall. We're much more excited for this episode than last week.
Dude, I was so ready to get started on this week. I was, like, embarrassed of last week because I just, like what was there to say last week? And this week, we just have so much more.
Yeah, yeah. So just
More
brief
guys,
introduction
more
here.
details.
For sure. For sure. So I think we'll get started with edges because I think if we go through the other positions and then edges are last, wow. I want to know how much time we're going to spend on them because this is,
Dude, seriously.
yeah,
Like,
this,
there might have 7 or 8 in the first round. There could only be, like, 4, and, and we just don't know what we're talking about, but there's a lot of guys I've been seeing go into mocks in, like, the late rounds, and I think it could be and depending on what you think about, Arvel Reese counting as an edge, then he can do that, but, he claims that he wants to be an edge at the combine, good decision. What do you feel about that? How do you think, Arvel Reese is gonna pan out?
dude, I don't know personally. That's not even one I fully want to even try to speculate on. But what I will say is, whoever picks him, make up your mind quickly, because that's kind of what I've heard about this guy is you're gonna have to just make your decision on what he's gonna be and kind of stick with that.
Mhm.
So that's gonna be an issue if if you're a team that's not really able to compete and it's gonna affect his morality not winning games and then also not even being able to figure out his position, things like that. So
Yeah.
I think whoever picks this guy really has to just love the prospect and what he can bring to the team.
Yeah, there were 2 guys that I can think of that this reminds me a lot of, and they're both Cardinals. One of them was, Isaiah Simmons, obviously, who, like, they right out the gate were giving him a bunch of different assignments, tried to get him all over the defense, and Like, he never got off the ground whatsoever because of it, and then the other one was, Hassan Reddick, who, was
Yeah.
seen as, like, a tweener, and they had him playing, like, off-ball linebacker for a while until, like, the last year of his rookie deal, and they're like, "Fine, okay, we'll put you at edge," and, like, at this point, he earns this big contract, but, like, you've already wasted all of your time, and you don't know if he's actually for real, you don't wanna extend him, and, like, you very easily could be, like, training this guy for his next contract if you don't do it quickly and figure out what
Yeah.
his role is gonna be. With that being said, he's if he gets drafted number 2, he's gonna be an edge, whether that's good for him or not, and, if they can wait and go to a team that has a different idea, I feel like he would be a better off-ball linebacker, but then that gets into such a difficult conversation where it's like, is he even the best off-ball linebacker? Can we But I think if he settles into a role where he's playing off the ball and he can blitz and then maybe come off the edge every now and then, I think that would be best for him in a role like that. So maybe a defense that specializes in him, but doesn't make him think too much about like the back end of things, and a role that just kind of lets him like keep hitting. But he's a I see most of the things I saw from him when he was winning in like pass rushes, it was like blitzes up the middle and just generally not edge stuff. But he's freaky athletic. And if you can get like maybe even like stunts out of him to get him onto the middle, I feel like that could be better to get his pass rush really rolling. But uh, he scares me as a prospect. I think he's insanely athletic and he's worthy of taking as high as number 2. But I wouldn't know what to do with him if I were the Jets with like basically no talent on my team.
Yeah, well, and, 6'4", 241, decent build. Um,
He's
uh,
freaky, dude.
it's there. That's what's
Absolutely.
crazy about him. And, so just a, formal introduction. We're, speaking on Arvil Reese, out of Ohio State. Um, so just a little tidbit here. His prospect grades is 7.04, which actually I believe is the highest in the whole class.
I believe that.
Um, yeah, so he has the
That's
highest
got to be
prospect
pretty
grade.
RAS based, I would guess.
Yeah, the scale here, I mentioned it a little bit last time just as a refresher. There is a no grade. I'm guessing that's gonna be like UDFA guys, but
Sure.
it starts at 5.5 and goes to 8. I'm not gonna go through every there's like 10 different subsectors here. I don't know why they cut it off that many, but I'll just name a couple. Probably undrafted free agent is the very bottom, and then, we'll see, like, 6.1 is good backup with potential to develop into a starter, 6.5 is boomer bust potential, 7.0 is Pro Bowl talent. So, like,
Usually
pr
meaning like right out the gate, I would get. Probably just
yeah.
means more like a blue chip.
Yeah, and this does mean, yeah, like, right out the gate Pro Bowl talent because, like, 6.4 to 6.49 is will become good starter within 2 years, so this means where they are at right now.
Right.
Um So, and I think that he is in that range, but you have to know exactly how you need to tailor his play style to fit your team, to fit your scheme in order for him to actually be able to thrive in his role. Like,
Right.
this is not a guy that you're just gonna, oh, well, he's so good that we'll figure it out. No, like that's just not going to be the case. And
Right.
there's too, like you said, there's too many examples of just ruining a guy's trajectory that way.
And the Jets are totally a team that would do that, especially
Yeah,
behind a coach that's almost definitely gonna get fired. But,
yeah,
if you have a vision for him at edge, then just send it. No worries. It'll probably be fine. But I think he's really scary. We were both listening to that new Athletic episode where they
yeah,
called him positionally homeless, and I don't know. I also think he's like kind of decent, like in coverage when it has to be. So like, I feel like even if he's not like the master, like they probably are going to do exactly what they need to, and just like get him on a trajectory right away, and he'll be fine. But it's just really weird too to me because I mean it has to be edge rusher, otherwise you're not taking him here
yeah.
or taking him at 2 or whatever. Like obviously he could fall, but I think most people do believe he's going to go to the Jets at 2.
So I don't think this could ever be seen as the case if he's just like an off-ball linebacker. But could you ever see taking him as an edge to be defined as a job-saving move? Because I know normally we can describe something like that as like a quarterback pick for a head coach. But when you're a defensive coordinator turned head coach, are you able to kind of twist that and make a premier position on the defense maybe a job saving move?
I think it could. I feel like somebody like this though would be more like a guy you'd take if you're like starting your time somewhere else. Like
Mhm.
you heard in that very same mock where like he went to like to the Titans at 4 with Salah. Like I think that would be great. Then you get somebody you can really
I
develop and
love
grow
that.
together with on your team. As far as like team saving, I would be looking for somebody more or like job saving. I would be looking at somebody a little bit more sound, somebody you could be confident in their role.
So you think, as a defensive-minded head coach, a job-saving pick can be made at one of those positions. You just don't think that it can be made. So, like, you can't be that way with this guy, though.
I feel like it's a scary guy to pick if your job's
Yeah,
on the line, but,
got it.
I mean, you also like, the scarier guys are, those are the high risk, high reward type guys, so, I mean, yeah, you could do that. I don't know, though. I
That's
think because I mean, I know this is kind of like an overarching conversation, like, about the Jets, where it's like, they're just uniquely in such a weird place where it's like, they don't have any talent whatsoever, and their coach is fighting for his job. So,
mhm,
like, what do you do? Like, any other team that's, like, in that situation is just gonna take the guy who's awesome at football and crazy athletic,
yeah.
but they're in a different situation.
No, for sure. It's definitely a sticky one,
Mhm.
but, we'll have to see. I I think the consensus for a while was 1 and 2, picks 1 and 2 were figured out, and, ah,
It's a
until
long draft season, man.
I don't yeah, I just don't see that anymore, now that I've kinda dove in a little bit more, I don't think that's necessarily the pick that the Jets wanna take, but again, we're not
Right,
really
or
we're yeah, we're not really discussing that today, but,
it all
um,
ties together.
yeah, yeah, for sure, but
Brees is sick, he'll go top 5 somewhere,
for sure,
and
and the crazy thing is I think it could be any of the obviously, other than the Raiders, that's not happening, but, the
sure.
other 4, I think it really could be any of the 4.
Them, on the athletic pitching, trading back with the Jets to get the 2 and let them have Mendoza, that was fucking crazy.
Yeah, yeah, I don't
Raiders
know.
take our reason too, that'd be so funny.
That'd be
But,
wild.
obviously, that isn't gonna happen, but,
No way.
uh,
You wanna move on?
yeah, next edge, who's our, did you make a list? Who's your 2 here? Because I feel like this is a pretty big, I think people have been kind of fighting both ways on this one a little bit,
Yeah, and sometimes I think people just do that just to have a conversation.
honestly.
No, but,
And some
I
people are
really do
scared of little bitty T-Rex arms and
no, I'm just messing, but there really is a conversation to be had for a lot of these guys. Ruben
mhm,
Bain is my I mean,
urban ban.
yeah, in fact, if we're talking edge, he might be my number 1. I mean,
That's where I was having him for a while, like, I really was worried that, I was gonna kinda just, like, give in and not do this hot take with Arvo Reese because, like, it was like, "Whatever, I don't really care," but I genuinely do think Ruben Bain's, like, the more, like, promising pick, like, I think everybody's worried about the arm length. Anybody who's worried about Ruben Van is specifically worried about the arm length, but,
yeah,
like, it, like, kinda just doesn't matter. Like, he plays, like, really powerfully anyway, so, like, a long arm isn't really, like, going to affect him. It's just, like plus, like, not only is it not going to affect him, he, like, has shown on tape that he has an ability to, like, chop through, like, long arm attacks, and so, like, what are you even scared of at that point? He's got plenty of power to overwhelm somebody who's, like, being too army and not getting their, like, their plant down, and I think he's got everything it takes to be a really nice, like, specifically, like, a 4-3 type edge, like, somebody bigger. I don't
yeah.
think he's, like, light enough to play in, like, a 3-4 where he might have to, like, drop into coverage or something, but, like, he plays inside, he plays outside, he does a lot of, like, stunts inside too, and I think he's good at winning on both sides too. But,
Yep. Ruben Bain out of Miami, he is 6'2", 263 pounds.
yeah, he big.
Big
I
dude,
mean,
and
the
that
6'2" is kinda whatever, but,
the arms measure in at, 30 and 7/8.
30 and 7/8. Is that his NFL draft profile?
Yeah.
Have you been hearing the stuff with about this?
Where people are fudging numbers or something.
Yeah, like,
I've
people
been
are, like,
hearing.
really, like, starting to, like, not buy into, like, the NFL's measurement system because everybody
Mhm.
that they're worried about, like it's been such a thing the past couple of years about arm length, and then they're going to their pro days and they're measuring, like, completely different. And I came on here on our offensive episode to say, "Hey, Spencer Vano is gonna be a guard," and then he goes to his pro day and everything's just fine now, and so, like, I don't know. I don't know when Miami's pro day is. I'll be waiting for that, but it also, like, I don't know, his arms are short, so it doesn't matter that
That's
much.
kinda all I was kinda I just threw it in there, with all of that, for the audience, take the measurements with a grain of salt, but
Yep.
I'm gonna give them because I am going off of the profile.
Right.
His grade, he came in graded at a 6.7, which is, I think, the exact same grade that they had for Fernando Mendoza. So whatever outlook they have for him, similar for Ruben Bain,
Hell
which
yeah.
I think is fine.
I'll take
His,
that.
NFL comparison is Brandon Graham. Thoughts?
I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard Brandon Graham too. I've also heard, like, James Harrison and some other people that kinda do similar stuff with their build that way, but, yeah, I had something. Hold on. Wasting time.
He's coached by Jason Taylor?
Is he really?
I didn't know
Did he
that.
have something did something happen with Jason Taylor?
No idea, to be honest with
I
you.
don't know either.
But,
Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay. Okay.
so
So you've heard me bitch about Joey Bosa, right? When he gets like when he'll get like a perfect pass rush angle and then like not get the sack and not finish.
yeah,
Bane does this a lot, and, like, some
yeah,
people are kinda worried about, like, his arm length in that regard because like, I feel
yeah,
like sometimes he'll win really fast and then get really antsy, and he won't have the ability to, like, finish the tackle, and all I know is that I loved Joey Bosa. I loved him for many, many years. That was the most frustrating shit ever. I
yeah.
hated watching that. If y'all go out and you watch the film and you agree and you think that's annoying, yeah, take the next guy or Arbel Reese or whatever. Because yeah, it was pretty frustrating seeing that. He's not the most sound tackler, and I think it's probably because of his arms.
Yeah, and that's something I think can be coachable, but
He just has
it's
to slow
not.
down.
Yeah, it's not. There are things within within a player's game that are just like, oh yeah, that's fine when he gets to the NFL level, gets professional coaches in front of him, whatever. That's one where it's almost like the antsy part is what scares me there. If you feel he's
Mhm.
getting antsy because that's just inherent human nature. That's just who he is, and that you can't really shake that sometimes.
Right.
That's just who they're gonna be. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I do think if you are specifically just looking at we need the edge. We need to solidify our edge and you're looking for a specific player, I think you need to be looking more towards Ruben Bain,
Yeah.
than
Especially
Arbo
if
Reese.
you want him in, like, a strictly pass rushing set, like,
Yeah,
he'll be your guy. And,
yeah,
yeah, there's all that, and, another thing I noticed about him too is that he tends to know how to approach a play as it opens up. So like he'll get into like his like one-on-one with the tackle and he might not win right away, but you can like you see that he'll instantly be able to tell like where the quarterback's like navigating his pocket and if he's scrambling this way, he'll already have his angle planned out for him. So like he can be a really sure player. It's just some of those quick wins he fucks him up and
yeah,
most of them he didn't really notice it because he gets a quick win and then Mesidor comes up and cleans it up and
yep,
yeah. And that defense was just in general scary. But
yeah, yep. Well, yeah, I don't really have a whole lot more on him. You ready to move on?
yeah, let's do the David Bailey thing. I think he's like the better like straight up pass rusher. I didn't even mention Ruben Bain. He's like really good in run support too. David Bailey's like not quite the run support guy. I think he's more of like a pure pass rusher, and he's got a lot of like
Mhm.
speed and length, and he does all that, and yeah, he's just a different flavor.
Yeah, we got next up here, David Bailey out of Texas Tech, coming in at 6'4", 251 pounds.
I think he's
D1
got
arm
long
and
ass
hand
arms
measurements.
too. I don't have the numbers right here on me,
Yeah,
but
arms are 33 and 3/4.
holy fucking shit.
Yeah.
That's the NFL numbers too. That's a lanky dude.
Yeah, and, prospect grade is actually just a actually, this is, more s I think this is exactly what Mendoza's was, 6.78.
Oh,
Ruben Bain was a 6.7 flat.
boo! Oh, they got Bane at edge 3? Man, that's crazy
Yeah,
shit.
so he, has, for the combine production score, he's actually listed as edge 1. Um, and,
David Bailey?
yeah. What they have here for combine results, he ran the 40 in 4.5 seconds.
That's not too
Um,
bad.
Not
I'll
too
take
bad
that.
at all. And their comp list is Nick Bonito, actually.
I've heard that too. I think there's another guy we're gonna talk about late that I kinda comp to Nick Benito quite a bit, and, I do feel a little bit with Nick Benito, maybe some, like, Hendrickson a little bit too, because they do a lot of the same stuff, but,
Mhm.
my biggest gripe with Bailey is I worry that he relies on his speed a little bit too much, that he tends to, like, win with, like, speed and speed alone, and I don't think he has, like, too much of a, like, bag on him, but he does have the high lot of high-end athleticism, and he also was, like, the most highly, like, produced, edge rusher. I think he had 42 pressures this past year and 10 sacks, and it's a lot better on, like, a 12-game season. But
Yeah, and one of the major weaknesses listed too, to your point, that you'd mentioned earlier at the top of speaking on him, finesse approach against the run due to lack of size and power.
yeah, I think he gets kinda overwhelmed sometimes.
So that, we got a little Micah Parsons on.
A little
Sorry,
Micah. Micah's fine
had
against the run. Don't do
I
that.
just had to
Don't
be
do
a jerk.
that.
Had to be anti-Packers for a second.
No, I feel you. I totally feel you.
Nah, I love
And
Micah.
nobody
He's
on the
awesome.
Vikings is relevant enough, and Aiden's too, so can't do that, man.
Oh, but yeah, it just goes to kind of speak to how deep this edge class is I,
Oh, I never
because I've been listening to so many sources and stuff, for the defensive side of the ball, just trying to get my ear out there and try to, hear what the
yeah.
consensus is. Eh, on a lot of these, shows, they're not even getting to all the edges because there's just so many of them, and, like, I'm not even I'm hearing, like, Ruben Bain and Arvell Reese, and, like, David Bailey is actually graded higher for, his NFL prospect profile,
Mhm.
which, again, I know, not the greatest source always, but it's just such a deep class, man. This is a good time to really need an edge.
Yeah, and all 3 of those guys might go, like, top 4. Like, it could be, like, Mendoza and then just, like, Bane, Reese, Bailey for all we know, and could be similar to the, what was it, the 2022 class? When it went, like, Trayvon, Aiden Hutchinson, and then I think Thibodeau went, like, 5 or something, but
Yeah.
yeah, they all look pretty good, and, like, it's also, like, really flavor dependent too. They're all, like, different types of guys. You don't, like it sucks too because like, you miss out on one, and it's like, you can't really just say, "Oh, well, there's another one, don't worry," because they're all so specified.
Yeah.
Like, you just have to hope that your guy falls or, like, that the Titans want a different guy or something like that.
That's a really good point, actually.
Yeah.
While it is a really deep edge class, it's not just a grab your, pick of the litter.
Mhm.
It really is. Does this guy really fit what you need?
And throughout
Yeah,
all of the, like, 7 potential first round picks, like, they're all kinda like that too. They're all really I mean, that's
yeah.
kinda how it gets in the back of the first is you get kinda, like, specialized traits rather than being, like, all in
All
good. But
out.
then
Yeah,
the
great
next guy we
guys.
talk about, Akeem Mesidor, like, he's, like, the one guy out here who is, like, pretty balanced. I think he's really like, can we do you have anything more to say about David Bailey?
Not at all. You want?
Okay.
Yeah.
Mesidor,
We
he's, like, super balanced, like, he
yeah,
plays really similar to, like, Ruben Bain. He's also a little bit bigger. He also does, like, a lot of inside out stuff. He's good in the run. He's got, like, veteran, like, pass rush savvy, probably because he's old as fuck. He's, like, 24, and he's gonna be 25 by the time the draft starts, so, like, you wonder if it's, like, "Oh, it took all this time to break out." Did you break out because you finally something finally clicked for you, or is it because you're, like, a grown man beating up on 18-year-olds? It's, like, hard to tell with stuff like that, so,
yeah.
like, people tend to find that late breakout to be, like, kind of a red flag, and he also has, like, a foot issue, I guess, that's been, like, kinda lingering, so, like, that can get a little sketchy too, but, I like Mesidor. I think he's awesome. He's one of those guys that like if you're the wrong team drafting him, he's just going to be a waste of a pick. It's
Yeah.
like you better hope that comp pick formula really does you justice because he's in the after the first round, you're going to accept his 5th year option, and he's going to be going for his first contract at 30.
Yeah. Oh
And
my goodness.
yeah, it's
I didn't
like
even think about
he's
that.
done now, and so I feel like he has the talent to go like honestly to go top 10. He's really good. He's awesome. Like Brett Coleman was doing a film analysis on him, and he was like starting a movement saying like 3 is greater than 4, trying to say he's better than Ruben Bain. Whatever, he's exaggerating to make a point, but yeah. So I think he's really good, but he has to go to the right spot, and I don't know where that's gonna be for him, man.
I don't necessarily either.
Like the Chargers because they can't get their head out of their comp pick ass, honestly.
He's also out of Miami, 6'3", 259 pounds. Those arms come in at 32 and an eighth.
Yeah, he nice.
Uh,
He nice.
his hands hit 10 inches.
10
Yeah, that's sticking
Kawhi
out
out there
to
playing
yeah.
edge rusher.
Yeah, I'm like, dang. His prospect grade comes in at a 6.41. Yeah,
Hit defender. Paul, you
yep,
better not.
he's solid. There are some weaknesses. They do actually I think they rank these weakness I believe they rank the weaknesses, like most important weakness to,
Sure.
not as big. I'm not 100% certain on that, but the bottom one they have is, yeah, he's gonna be a 25-year-old rookie. And
It's a
that is
lot.
I think that's a big weakness. So
Yeah.
maybe that's not in order actually, because I think that should be close to the top.
It's pretty
Um,
big. Like, I mean, how often do you
yeah,
draft a guy first round and just be like, "We're okay if we don't sign him," like, after?
yeah, that's actually insane.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Um, but,
Especially with a foot issue, like
yeah, he played 3 games in 2023 because of that foot issue. I actually just read that as well. It and I don't know. I think the talent's there. I think, uh, this is really specific, in terms of a team. Because
yes.
there's a couple non-negotiables here. This guy is almost like we were an edge away and we missed out in free agency, you
Yeah.
know? Like,
Yeah, no, exactly. Or
this
even
is a
somebody
team
like
that's
the
looking to
Bills
fit
who,
one
like
more piece.
yeah, or somebody like the Bills who, like, are definitely trying to go all the way, so it just, like, doesn't really matter. Like, I could see that, but if you're like, what, the Dolphins at 11, don't take this guy. That's just stupid.
No.
Don't do that. If you're the Jets like, if you're the Jets and you, I don't know, take Sonny Styles at 2, and then you get down to 16 and Mesidor's still there, don't take Mesidor. Don't do it.
Yeah. No. I just no,
No.
insane.
I mean, I guess Aaron
He
Glenn is fighting for his life. You know what? Take Mesidor, fuck it. You're not gonna be there 4 years from now anyway.
Mm, probably not.
Let it ride.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot on him. I actually think he is gonna fall,
Me too.
um, pretty significantly.
I wanna
I'm
see him
trying
go to,
to
like, the Niners or something.
Are there any situations where we have a good team picking high because of a trade or anything?
The
I don't I
Rams,
Oh,
I would even
yeah.
consider the Chiefs a good team still. I know they lost a
Yeah,
lot, but
they're fine.
I think it hardly matters. I don't think the
I
Chiefs are taking Mesidor either, though.
No.
They're probably more on the David Bailey discussion. I don't think that'll happen either, but, you know.
Yeah. Who knows? We'll
I
see.
don't.
We can go ahead and move on. I don't have a whole lot more on him, do you?
We're really getting into the back end of this. I there's, like, 4 guys after this that I think all can be, like, kinda in, like, the same range, and, we can kinda, like, talk them.
I'll give quick intros for all of them. We can kind of rapid fire them. TJ Parker here out of Clemson, comes in at 6'4", 263 pounds.
I'm at 6.
And oh wow, nice.
We'll take a 6'4".
Yeah.
With the way
Well,
these
again,
measurements are, he's probably 6'5", baby.
his prospect grade comes in at a 6.29. We haven't had one that low yet, so I will refresh us on where that's at. 6.29 is will eventually be average starter, and it's at the very top of that tier.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, yeah, and his comp here is what did they have? I literally just scrolled past it. Whatever. No big deal. Do you have anything else on him?
Yeah, I just gonna give a quick rundown.
Yeah.
He's like a really well-rounded edge defender. Like he can rush the pass and he can stop the run. I actually really like this guy in the 20s. This is somebody I'm gonna be one of the 22 Chargers I'll be cool with probably. And he were super productive in 2024, didn't quite get it the last year. Uh the biggest issue he's got is he's not very like quick like laterally, so he's really more like just gonna have to be like a rusher and somebody who can like hold the edge and he's not the most athletic guy at all. So, like, there was a on the like way too early mock drafts that they do every year, they were saying that he had a potential to be like a top 5 pick. He never had that kind of athleticism. He was just like one of the best edge rushers in 2024. But if you want a mid athlete who does everything well and is going to play 3 downs for you, TJ Parker's great in the 20s.
Yeah, and, from what I've seen on tape on him, I haven't watched a whole heck of a lot, I watched a good enough amount. He's, one of those guys that just does like, nothing when you're watching film, nothing's like, "Oh, wow," you know what I mean? Like,
He does
not
not
dropping
wow
your
you
jaw.
know.
No, and I have a term for this. I'm not actually gonna, like, claim ownership of this, but I don't even know if I've heard this somewhere. I could have, let me know if I did. I call these clock punchers. Yeah.
They're I
I
think
mean,
they're
he comes
called
in, he does his
Jags if
job, and he
you
goes
ask
home.
Steve Smith.
I I probably did hear that somewhere, but I do use that
Clock
term clock
punchers.
punchers, and he's a clock puncher, I think, and
That's good.
there's nothing wrong with that, man, and this is exactly what you were talking about
Clock
where
punchers. That's Quentin Johnson. That dude's just making a check, bro.
but yeah, I would actually, you didn't. You said like the once you get down into the late first, you get like the traits. I will
Yeah.
actually extend that a little bit further. If you're not getting the traits, you get one of those clock punchers where it's
Yeah.
like nothing's going to fully wow you, but they don't. But you're also not going to be offended by anything they do either.
Honestly, I'll take a clock puncher in the late first 9
Yeah,
out of 10 times straight up. I feel like a lot of people miss on their late first because they're so pressured by the first
yeah.
round pick of it all that they wanna get somebody who's, like, elite, but, like, if you're picking back first, you're getting a day 2 grade guy, man. Just get somebody sound. Get TJ
And
Parker.
we just have different qualities of drafts. Like this
Yeah.
year, a late first
Oh, dude.
genuinely is like a late second next year.
No,
From
I don't know about that. I really, like I've been hearing weak class and stuff. I think it's just a weak top end class.
That's
I feel
probably
like
true.
if you cut the draft off at like pick 20 and then just said, "Okay, this is the second round. There's going to be like 45 second round picks." I think it'd be a lot better and it would just be
Okay.
like a really clean second round. I think there's a lot of depth in the second round this year. Which means
Yeah, and
just don't miss on your day 1, guys. Come on. Come on.
and,
Hit the doubles, bro.
that
Mm.
is fair. I have heard that, and
Yeah.
the depth of edge speaks to that. The depth of another position we'll talk about a little bit later speaks to that as well. But I think we just have one. Do we have one or two more?
We have 3 more.
Oh my!
And we can just do
Uh,
them all real quick.
I have two more edges.
I don't remember which ones I gave you.
Oh,
Uh,
gotcha.
I have
Um,
Falk, Cassius Howell, and then Zion Young.
okay.
I
I
don't know
do
if I brought
have
up.
Keldrick Falk on here out of Auburn. 6'6",
Yeah, he's big. He
276 pounds.
yeah, this is a I think we were talking before the show started. This is the Shamar Stewart guy. Like not very productive, has all the traits. Like I was listening I had to like relook this guy up because my first like impression of this guy was listening to Stay Hot talk about him and they hate him. Like my first note on him was just bad and then I moved on to the next one cuz I was so scared. But like he he's got really specific talents. He's really good at at setting the edge and run defense, but he like straight up does not have he's too like lumbering to actually like rush the passer and like from the edge and pass. Remember when the Raiders drafted oh, who the fuck was that? He was like the 7th overall pick, and they drafted some project edge rusher. I can't remember who it was because everyone thought they were going to take Jalen Carter or something, but he ended up being super big, and they took him because he was big and athletic, and that's the same way Falk is. And those guys tend to just like not work.
Oh, that's killing me. Who?
Yeah, you know who it is.
'Cause it was the Darnell Wright draft.
Yes. We're gonna
Um,
do some horrible podcast moments here while
that's
we look this
fine.
up because I gotta know. Tyree Wilson.
There it is.
Tyree Wilson, he reminds me of him a lot, and then he ended up moving inside, which is also something that I think you could do with Keldrick Falk because, he's better at rushing the passer from the inside. He's so
Yeah,
big that he could take advantage of, like, small guards and centers, so, like, it gets tough because then it's like, "Okay, well, we want him to rush the passer now, so we line up inside." Well, now the offense knows what you're doing, and it just it becomes, like, a little positionally homeless, so it's tough.
you're loving that.
It's too good! It's
It
too
is
good of a
good.
term.
It's a good one.
But
It really
yeah,
is a good one.
it's not gonna be the last time too. I'm probably gonna say it 2 or 3 more times in this episode.
I love it.
Good. You better.
Did you wanna move on after that?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I'm saying let's just do a little bit, and I'm talking about these guys the most. Uh,
Yeah, the last one I have is Cassius Howell on my end, and you can speak on, you did have one other one,
this
but
is the guy I heard comp to Nick Benito, and I kinda like it.
okay. Out of Texas A&M, he's 6'2 and a half, 253. You got a 6.38 prospect grade, which is actually lower than what they just had, the last guy. He was
Yeah,
in the
no,
6'4 range.
we're getting in the weeds.
Yeah, that's fair.
But,
Their comp is Will McDonald, the full one.
yeah, I've heard that too. Will McDonald, I've heard a little bit of Benito, but he's just like a small, really fluid, agile, bendy pass rusher. Like he's really only like fast going downhill, but like he's a really good
Mhm.
pass rusher. Specifically, he gets there really quick. He has like savvy to like bat balls down and stuff like that. But his issue as well is as expected with the little guy, it's in the run game. Like the thing that's specifically like the reason I would be willing to take a risk on Cassius Howell is because he's just, like, weak in the run game. He gets kinda, like, run over, but when you see him play, he, like, knows what he's doing in the run game. Like, he's not just, like, going everywhere and anywhere and, like, finding himself out of position. He'll hit the holes and, like, try to set the edge. He's just too small, so you hope that, like, he has enough speed that you can just put some weight on him, and then, he still ends up pretty fast and bendy and fluid, but it's gonna you need to work on his run defense for sure. It's gotta be
I'm not
worked
gonna lie. This feels like a Ryan Poles pick.
Does it?
It
In the
really
early
does.
2nd round, maybe? Dude, I mean, I think it's not a bad idea depending on who you get in the 1st round, man.
I could see him pulling it in the first.
Dude, I'm so excited for the mock next week.
I know.
I'm excited to see what you do with the Bears when we get there, man. I know we're
I'm
kinda, like, burying the lead
I've
a little
got
here, but
7 picks buried right now that I'm working on there's so many options.
I'm so excited.
But the reason this one feels like a Poles pick is because there's so much pressure to get an edge right now. And there's also so much
Yeah.
pressure for Dennis Allen to get these fast guys that he wants because it's like
Does he, like, fast guys?
he loves fast guys. He likes undersized defensive tackles, and
Oh.
we have the exact opposite of that. Like Jerron Dexter's a
Oh, who are
big
you
dude,
getting? Hold up.
man. Um,
You're gonna get Peter Woods.
I you know, I if he's still there, actually, I do see that. And are you actually ready to move on into that?
Real quick about
You
Zion Young. I don't like
yeah.
Zion Young. I think he wins like with a lot of power. He can stop the run, but he's just like he doesn't really have counter moves. His athletics are kind of like can be desired, and yeah, he's just not. He's just kind of like steady and stout and can stop the run. He's
Mhm,
nothing special. I had him on the list. I thought I'd like him more than I would. I don't really care for him.
gotcha.
So that
Um,
being moved on, well, that being said, we can move on to the guy we were just talking about. How do you feel about Peter Woods, man? You've been doing some Peter Woods research with the dying need at D tackle.
I like him.
Yeah,
I do think either Howell or Peter Woods are like
our
definite.
Bears.
Yeah, well, I think the Howell pick would be a Poles pick. Knowing he needs an edge, maybe also trying to satisfy the speed thing for Dennis Allen.
Yeah.
Maybe soothe the fan base, soothe ownership, soothe
How
Dennis
bad does the
Allen
fan
on
base
one.
want an edge? Are they kind of?
They're still wanting Max Crosby.
Oh my god!
They're
After
still
his degenerative knee, you still
yeah,
want that
I
guy?
didn't even wanna fully get into that, but
I'm not actually taking it seriously at this point. Like, I feel like we're never actually gonna know how that physical went, and
no.
I'm just not going to speculate it anymore. I still think it's a blessing in disguise. Like we're getting off
I do
topic,
too.
but like I still think that they're just going to run with Max Crosby and they're going to be all the better
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, I think it's good for him, but I think with this specifically, I'm still seeing Bears fans
Oh, Max
mocking
Crosby.
Max Crosby's trades.
Here's
Like
the Raiders at pick 25.
so annoying.
It's awesome.
And it's just crazy to me that that's even where people's thoughts are, but I think that would be something Poles wants to do. Now, given the fact that
Got
everybody's in that
big
room,
swings.
yeah, everybody's in that room. I think Ben Johnson had a grip on some of those reins last year, and that's why some of these picks turned out. I really think he helped out. I do think
That was the
drafting
weirdest draft ever.
it's incredibly weird. Last year
Ben
was
Johnson, we
incredibly
need
weird.
defense. Please save our defense. You want a
It
wide receiver 4?
Yeah. Well,
Second
and
and
then the
third.
Luther Burden pick does end up looking good now.
They both look good,
Yeah, it's
but it was
just
weird when it happened.
yes, it was. It was incredibly. But Dennis Allen has always run with kind of undersized, speedy defensive tackles. And I
Mm.
think with everybody in the room, and Dennis Allen's going to plead his case for Peter Woods, and I think there's going to be people backing him up. They need defensive tackle help just as badly as they need need edge help. There's a
They
lot of they could really use any position on the defense.
Yeah, I agree, and, like, Peter Woods is, like, mostly an interior guy, but he, like, does line up on the edge sometime, uh, especially even in a 3-4 set, which is kinda crazy. He's just, like he's
Mhm.
kinda built like Aaron Donald was. Not that he is Aaron Donald, because that's
Yeah.
crazy, but he's built the same way, and he has great pass rush from, like, inside. He also has, like excuse me, he also has, like, a Bosa-like tendency to not quite finish on plays, but,
Mhm.
I think he's, like, the most well-rounded, like, defensive tackle in the class. I think he's the one that's, like, for sure, like, a first-round talent, and while he's not, like, the most sound in run defense, I don't think it's really a weakness either. He's just, he has that, like, next level ceiling, and I think that's something the Bears are kinda missing, and I could see them
Yeah.
targeting them, or I could even I've mocked him to the Panthers at 19 a couple of times, not to say that that's the best decision, but, uh, yeah,
He
I like him.
they have him comped, Christian Wilkins is their comp, and I don't hate that.
Minus
Um,
the weird stuff, ideally.
I actually we'll
Who
get into
knows?
that in a couple weeks
It's
when
the
we have
same
nothing
thing,
to
we don't
talk
know what
about.
happened. We don't know what happens
Same
behind
team
closed
too.
Raider doors. They do some weird stuff out there.
Them Vegas boys, man, it's crazy. But yeah, I think this is a really good fit for the Bears. I would like this pick if he's still there. So yeah, not to bears that up a whole lot, but yeah, that's
That
just exactly what Dennis Allen's probably been looking for. Because I genuinely think that that's a big reason why the defense looked the way it did last year is because he inherited a bunch of just Eberflus guys, and it was so obvious that that's the case because
Yep.
they're fine with shedding these guys this year, and I don't know why the fan base isn't. Our defense was awful.
It's
Oh, they
addition
got the
that
throw.
by subtraction for sure.
Well, and I think I even mentioned this a week or 2 ago, but, like, what we lost in talent, we gained in scheme fit
Mhm.
with some of these guys. Devin Bush is so much better of a fit. I think better player, but
More
also a
athletic
better
too.
fit than Tremaine Edmonds. I think Kobe Bryant is a better scheme fit than, Kevin Byard. Oh my goodness.
And he's
Bears
not, like, ancient and slow.
Bears Twitter's gonna light me on fire for getting Kevin Byard's name for a point
For
5
talking
seconds.
about Bears legend Kevin Byard. That's like his
You
3rd most notable team.
you'd fucking thank Bears legend by the way they talk about him,
They can
dude.
burn me down on Twitter if they want. He is not retiring a Bear.
Nope.
Where'd he go
He's
again? I can't even remember.
with Vrabel, baby. Duh.
Oh, hell yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. I think he's gonna retire with him. I mean,
It's a good pick.
yeah,
I mean,
I
he's got a foot in the
and
grave at this point.
well, and Bears fans were like, "Oh, we probably lowballed him. We blah, 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 all this stuff and the other thing." And then he put out a statement where he's like, "It was always going to be either Patriots or Bears, and my boy Vrabes needed me." Was that, I think that's even like a direct quote. He said, "My boy Vrabes needs me," and
That's
it's like,
awesome.
"That's awesome. Yeah, it's
That's
fucking
really
sick.
cool and hard as
Go do your
fuck.
thing, dude.
I
Go do
saw
your
a post.
thing."
We're getting super off track, but I saw a
I
post
know.
today that said, "I'll never forgive Keenan Allen if he goes to the Raiders," and I was just like, I kinda wouldn't care if he went to the Raiders, like, I don't want him to come
Who
back to the
cares?
Chargers, and even if he went to the Raiders and started, like, shitting on the Chargers, like, "Bro, we traded you away and you came back after a year. We don't believe you. Like,
Yeah.
whatever you say about the organization, you're wrong." So, like, I don't he can do whatever he wants after, as far as I'm concerned. He's locked up in Chargers history, whether he likes it or not, and
Yeah.
but
Yeah, 100%.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, we had to get
Next
off
guy,
track just to talk about our teams for a second. But yeah, we
I think
got Cade McDonald next
yeah,
here.
I was
Is
gonna
that
say, I
right?
think you also could use a pretty, prominent run stopper, no?
I don't think he I I think he's going before Peter does. I do.
Yeah, yeah.
I just have that feeling. I think, and I'll call it out because, if this episode pops off, somebody's gonna call me out in the comments anyway, so I'll call it out. Um, but I do think that there's gonna be just that trust with Ohio State guys. And
Yeah.
they called it out in that athletic episode today, and I just think that's such a solid point. It's so true. And say what you want about Marvin Harrison, whatever. He's still solid, man. I don't. Yeah, he's not the.
He's had a not fair shake, but
Yeah, number one hasn't had a fair shake, and number two, it's the Caleb Williams thing. There was so much pressure on this guy when he was coming in. They were like,
literally, like, be better than your Hall of Fame dad, please.
no, it was like, oh, he's
Like,
got everything his Hall of Fame dad had, and his body's better. And it's like he's
yeah,
just going to be a better version of him. It's like, don't
yeah.
say
They're
that, bro. He's
projecting him as, like, the
20.
best receiver of all time. It's like, "Bro, can you chill the fuck out?"
Literally. And like we're still having these conversations about it, and he's still young. This is what? We're going into year 3?
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
getting
like,
close, but, like, also, like, he's gonna go to another team. Like, at some point, he's gonna
oh
go to
yeah,
another team, and I have, like, full faith that he's gonna look like George Pickens when he does. I
100%.
I'm so ready for it, but anyway, the Cade
Yeah.
McDonald of it all. My thing about Cade McDonald is I think out of all of these, like, top 3 defensive tackles, he is the best at his, like, his main trick, which is, like, run defense. He's super stout in run defense. He was, like he was getting double teamed, like, basically all season, and he still ended up, like, the highest graded defender by PFF. And there's, like, not a whole lot there as far as pass rush, but, like, there's the occasional win that shows that he, like, has that extra juice where you can develop him into a pass rusher if you want, and then, like, I think it's worse when you get a guy who just can't defend the run because then it ended up being like a huge sieve and a part of the defense that I think is more important personally. And
Yeah.
but people don't like to take run defenders in the first round. They don't find it as valuable because they know they can find run defenders through the whole draft. They want to take pass rushers first round. So like this is a guy who's like on my 22 Chargers big board. I would love to have Cade McDonald. We need somebody to stop the run really bad. I think he's going to fall to round 2. But I think whoever gets him round 2 is gonna be very happy, and,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I think he's a solid pick. One of the strengths that on his prospect profile they have listed is rare tackle for loss production for an interior defender. Um, so there's a lot of I know he's a thick dude too. He just like
oh,
built
I didn't even get
big.
his weights on here. Man, what
Yeah,
what is what are the numbers?
326,
Let's fucking
and
go.
he's 6'2".
Let's go.
He's a fucking unit, man.
Big dude.
I I I don't know. I've actually seen this guy mocked everywhere. I've seen him mocked as like a kind of like higher first round pick. I've seen Bears fans want him, at our pick.
I can see that.
And yeah, and I agree with you. I could see him going to the second as well. I think there's going to be a little bit of favoritism with Ohio State this season just because it's just worked so well
Dude, they
for
might
everybody.
have 4 guys drafted in the top 5 this year.
Dead ass,
Like,
like,
it could
yeah,
literally just go, like, Fernando 1, then Arvell, Sonny
Sonny
Styles,
Styles.
and then, Carnell Tate and Josh Downs could all go top 5 for all I know. I wouldn't
Josh
project it to
Downs'
happen.
brother.
Whatever. Caleb Downs. "Oh, you're Josh Downs' little brother, aren't you?"
Oh.
Giving me fucking high school flashbacks.
Oh boy. Yeah, he comes in with a 6.39 prospect grade. A lot of these defensive tackles are around the same range.
They all are like the late first round type guys.
Yeah,
And they're all super specified too. They're all like, it's like, here's the pass rush guy, here's the defensive guy, the run stopping guy, and then here's the high upside injury risk guy
yep,
with Caleb Banks, who I've seen some people put him like at absolutely like number one on their board, just flat out ignoring injury concerns. But he had a foot issue, and then I think he re-aggravated it at the combine.
yeah,
And he's a big boy. He's got massive upside in pass rush and run defense. He's like got everything it takes to be one of the league's best defensive tackles. He's got to put a lot of weight on that busted ass foot. And I have a very specific team mocking this guy. I have a really good fit. I'm gonna save that for the mock draft because it's one of my teams.
hell yeah.
But we're gonna see how that goes. You like Caleb? I hate his
I do.
number
What is his number? I forget.
88.
You know what? I actually remember liking that.
Good for
It's
you. That
it's
makes me
in
sick.
incredibly unorthodox, but I kinda like that whenever they
Got a
do
Marvin
that.
Harrison's number, bro.
But, I've seen a lot of Bears fans want Caleb Banks. I don't he hasn't been a guy I really wanted, and it really made me sick after I kept hearing this, and then check his prospect profile and his, comp is Trevon Dexter. Like, what the
Yeah, let's just have 2 of them.
right? No,
Yeah, I don't
not a
like
fan.
I don't like the idea of taking an injury guy when you need a position as bad as the Bears do.
Yeah.
Like, I know that's not, like, horrible there, but they need, like, a difference maker, and I just I don't know.
Well, and then,
Defense
like, look
is
at what
okay.
happened, like,
Go ahead.
they pick Ozzy last year, and then, like, they finally get that figured out, and then there's an injury issue with him, and it's like, okay, so there wasn't even that as a risk with him, so why pick the guy that has the risk when it's like, you
Yeah, why
see
are you
how badly
drafting
this
injured
turned out?
players? I say that, but
Yeah.
one of my favorite players in this draft is super injured. Don't mind me, I didn't mean that. Draft in fact, you know what? Take Caleb Banks, Bears. He's good to go.
He's 6'6", 327.
It's a big dude,
Huge,
a lot of
even.
weight on a foot.
Huge. Yeah, exactly, and arms 35.
Oh my god. Holy shit, dude. He's gonna be dwarfing poor Spencer Fano out there.
Hands
Poor
10
Will
and
Campbell is
7
gonna be
eighths.
in a fucking locker.
Hands are 10 and 7 eighths.
Oh my god.
He's a massive dude.
Big dude. He looks like every
Massive.
bit of it on tape too. He pops off the screen, man.
It I really because it's a foot injury and because of his size, normally I'm not massive on injuries, but that's big, and then especially because of, the fact that it was a re-injury and it's this recent now, and we're gonna be coming into the draft very soon.
Remember when John
I
Ross got hurt at the combine, man? That like ruined his career.
it genuinely did, yeah. Yeah,
There's a couple other you good with those guys?
yeah, we can move on. I have
Couple other
Christian Miller next.
Yeah, Christian Miller, I didn't have, like, a whole lot of notes. I put some on, the other one, and, like, I see that he's, like, a pretty decent, like, run stopper, and, the reason I've been seeing people put him up here is because, like, they know like, they feel as if he's as good at stopping the run as, like, Caden McDonald is, and then they also feel like he has, like, a little bit more juice as, like, a pass rusher. He's just not as big. It's I don't know. I think you gotta put him in a pretty decent role, but and then you can't even play him at nose because he's just not big enough.
Yeah. Yeah, he was the last D tackle I actually had, out of Georgia. He's coming in at 6'4", 321, 33-inch arms, 10-inch hands. Also a big dude, man.
They're all gonna be big here.
Yeah, you're
And,
right.
I didn't have any of this guy on my list, but, it's another guy who's, like, super powerful against double teams and could operate as, like, a nose tackle that I think would be good as, like, a second round pick, and, that's a Dominique Big Citrus Orange, man. I was considering putting this guy on my board, and then I heard that name, and he shot up, like, 20 points on my board. The nickname Big Citrus. I love
I
that
love
shit.
that.
I wanna be
Almost as good
screaming
as
that on Sundays, man.
hell yeah.
Ever.
Almost, Almost as good as Emerald. Never mind.
Oh, the Emerald City Route Artist. Nah,
Stupid.
nothing beats that, man.
Nothing beats that. Um, I do want to take a quick breather. So when we come back, we
Oh,
will
me
jump
too.
into linebackers.
So, man, I don't wanna
All
do the lighting here. Anyway,
right.
so we're moving on to linebackers, correct?
Yes, sir. We're
Hell yeah.
back. I am going to introduce who I think Damon's the most excited to talk about.
I mean, not even that I'm most excited to talk about him, but he's just like, dude, he's my Marvin Harrison, honestly, this year. Like, if he's not good, I think I'm done. I think I'm done even
Yeah.
trying if he's not good. It's Sonny Styles. I think he's fucking disgusting as a baller. The dude was I had some numbers and stuff. He was considered like the nation's like top defensive like run stopper in the league in his second year playing linebacker. I don't know how much you know about him. He started at safety before and then when Caleb Downs, being an elite high school recruit, joined the team, instead of him being like, "Oh, okay, I'm going to keep that dog in me and like make sure I keep this starting spot," he volunteered to switch to linebacker for the betterment of the team. And it just made them so sick. And he like at the time he was already like a really high end like safety prospect and was really good in coverage. And then he went to linebacker and became an elite tackler. Like and obviously, when I think about this stuff, it's just like it's Isaiah Simmons all over again. Like, he was asked as like a freshman and not a sophomore, as a freshman to like play safety and do some corner stuff and nickel. So he's got all this experience playing everywhere. But like he's just such a monster. And I don't think he really has a hole in his game whatsoever, except for the fact that he's like a little small, but not really. Like I think he's in the like 240 range, which isn't that small for a linebacker anymore in the modern NFL, and, I just think you
Mhm.
can't miss with him, and I think he's gonna make a team really happy.
There's not really a huge question mark in terms of where he fits on the field from what I'm gathering. I think you're just getting, just a very solid Mike linebacker. He uh the one guy, and I know we are really kind of focusing specifically on the player and not necessarily, the team. But one guy that I'm just so stoked for this draft, man, especially with this episode, is Robert Sala. Because we've said like so
Dude, I'm
many
so
names,
happy I get the Titans in the mock draft, bro.
dude.
I don't
Yeah.
even know what I'm gonna do, I'm just anyway.
And this guy especially, I do think I think this is who Robert Saleh is probably looking at. If we're going to be completely honest, with that Fred Warner is his comparison on the prospect profile in NFL. I mean, just I think this is just would be that bow to kind of tie off everything they've done this offseason to be prepared for the upcoming season with this defense. I just think that would
Yeah.
be a perfect pick. But like you said, he's gonna make anybody happy.
Mhm. Like, even if they took him 2 to the Jets, like, that's even a situation where it's like, yes, he's gonna take your defense to a new level. Even if that level is, like,
Yeah.
capably mid, like, you'll get there with him, and I
Yeah.
that's why I don't like the Arvell Reese thing is because like, cool, he's an off-ball linebacker. I like Sonny Styles more in that role.
Yeah.
I think he's so good, and he's got all the tools to be elite. He anchored that top defense, and, he missed a single-digit amount of tackles this year. Do you wanna guess how many?
1.
It is 1. He missed 1 tackle all year, and just
Yeah.
when you get that and you get the coverage know-how of somebody who already literally played safety and sees the field like a safety and somebody who can, like, crash down and tackle the way that Sonny Styles can, like, he's something different, I think, and I will be devastated if he busts, straight up.
Prospect grade is a 6.47.
Well, that's bullshit, honestly.
Will become good starter within 2 years.
Okay. No, that's I firmly believe day 1. Maybe I'm getting over my skis here or whatever, but I think he's indifferent. Like, I'm cursing him so bad right now after Marvin Harrison. Like, I'm sorry,
Oh, man.
Sonny, but you're dope, and I gotta talk about how dope he is.
I think he's solid. And I was kind of really trying to pay extra special attention to him towards the end of this last season because you and I were just having conversations kind of off the show about him and stuff like that. And, yeah, I think you that was the first that's where your mind first went to when Saleh took the Titans job was Sonny Styles, wasn't it?
It was
It was
once
like
free agency hit and they got all those signings and they made the trades for, like, Jermaine Johnson and stuff, and, like, at
yeah,
that point, I was like, "Yeah, I they just need somebody in the middle to take care
that
of everything," and
just I think, oh, that just solidifies everything. It's just it would be the glue that
mhm.
you know, it's
They'll
weird
figure
though
out edge,
because
whatever.
for sure, and that's the weird thing, and I'm sorry if I'm going too deep into a solid talk here, but he's a really interesting guy with this draft. Um, I do you take, like, the Arville Reese, you know, if he's still there because it's like, this is the guy that's probably gonna be able to figure him out, or do you
Yeah.
take, like, the guy that's gonna be the blue chip for sure at one spot, you know?
We
I don't know.
mentioned it earlier, like, if if let's say if the draft falls like Mendoza, David Bailey, we'll say,
Yeah,
and then, like, uh, the tackle, Maui Noah, and then they had this pick of, like, all of them. Maybe you take Bane because, like, I think he does like to run like, the wide e like, wide edges. That's why they went and got Jermaine Johnson instead, so I could see them wanting, like, a stricter edge there, but
yeah,
but I don't think, like, if they are, like, saddled with Arvo Reese, then, they'll
yeah,
get over it, and
yeah,
I trust Saleh a lot. I love Robert Saleh, but
yeah.
anyway,
Yeah,
uh,
I'll stop glazing Sala for about 5 minutes now.
and
We can
Styles
move on.
also tested insanely well at the combine, which
Yeah,
I I'm like a combine denier at this point in my football watching lifetime. I, like, don't even care
fair.
anymore. I like the first day of the combine happened, and I, like, didn't even realize it. I was, like, Googling, "When does the combine start?" And it was, like, the day before that. What?
Oh, so
Yeah, I, like, barely care anymore, but he did have a sick combine
nice.
with, like, a
You wanna
40
move on?
bird or some shit. Yeah, and did you see a lot of these linebackers? They were kinda
It's kinda Sonny Styles and company from what I've gathered out there.
I I
They're
think
all graded similarly, on the prospects
I think
profile.
I mean, I might be overextending on Sonny, but, like, they might just not think he's like that. I don't
Who
know.
knows?
But,
I
I did see a video today. It was, like, Sonny Styles or, CJ Allen, and I was like,
yeah.
"What?" But I do love CJ Allen, and I think he has a chance to sneak into the first. I think Jacob Rodriguez could too as well. But, with CJ Allen, I like him a lot as, like, a run stopper. This guy also is probably gonna
Mhm.
be on my Chargers list, because that is, like, his specialty. He's super fast, super explosive. He's, like, a great run defender. He just takes good lanes. He doesn't get, like, bullied by linemen. He's all over the place in run defense, and then he's, like, capably sound in pass coverage too. So, like, we have Dan Henley and he's obviously sick, but we just signed back Denzel Perryman, and, like, that's a completely unserious signing that we're making because he's, like, stable at run defense. So if we were to get somebody else, like, to pair up with Deion Henley who can also be, like, sick and athletic and, like, be able to be rangy and all over the place, I think that could be a really good fit there, and I think a team would be happy to have him. Another guy I'm looking at in mocks, yeah, I like him a lot, but not quite.
We a couple grades here. Jacob Rodriguez is a 6.34 out of Texas Tech, and then
I like him.
CJ Allen is a 6.29 out of Georgia. CJ Allen
They
comp,
hate me, man.
CJ Allen comp is Zaire Franklin,
It
and
I
then
mean,
Jacob Rod.
actually, yeah. I mean, I can as much as I hate on Zaire Franklin, it's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, he's a really, really, really good run defender and good tackler and not the best in coverage.
I hate that they're doing this so quickly into this guy's career too. But Jacob Rodriguez's comp is Carson Schwessinger.
Schwessinger.
Yeah,
My fun I see, I was also looking into, like, Rodriguez. He started off as, like, a quarterback. He was a quarterback,
yeah.
high school recruit or whatever,
Mm.
and, he ended up transitioning into linebacker, so, like, he's, like, pretty decent in coverage. His issue is that he'll, like, overbite on stuff all the time. If you, like, show run, he's gonna give up a play action pass, and he's not, like, the best in coverage for that reason, but he can hang. He's got but, a little limited athletically. But, the funny thing about this is I was literally looking him up because I was debating whether or not I wanted to mock him to the Bills, and then in the video I was watching, they comped him to Matt Milano, and I was like, "Oh hell yeah. Fuck yeah. We'll just tee that up right now," but I don't know if I'll end up doing that, but he, not super athletic. Milano's probably more athletic than he is, but he does all things pretty well. Super nice downhill runner, just kinda overcommits sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think this is a stronger weak linebacker class?
I think it's strong in the way we just talked about, where it's like there's the one guy who's gonna go top 10 and he's elite. And then I think there's like 6 guys that are like pretty good in the second round. And that's like CJ Allen, who I think can make the first round, guy I just said, um,
Jacob Rodriguez.
that guy. I keep thinking of the corner who's got a similar name. Anyway,
Oh,
uh, him. There's Anthony Hill, I think his name is from Texas. Josiah Trotter, all guys that look pretty decent in like run defense, but just don't have the high end athleticism to like make it first round.
gotcha.
And that's
Yeah.
the difference with like CJ Allen, where I think he does have that athleticism, and I think he'll go.
I think that's a fair assessment. Yeah, I think it's solid. I do also think that linebacker is kind of a weird position right now. Um,
It always is, man.
yeah, that's fair. It really kind of always is. I don't know. It just kind of felt like a big question mark position lately. People have been kind of playing around with it, but I like I especially like Sonny Styles. I'm very excited to see what he's going to bring to the league, and who's going to be able to capitalize on that potential that's there. Because I think he's a specimen. Um, but we can. Do you want to move on into corner?
You know, do corners.
Yeah.
You want to open up about old Delane
Yeah. I have a little drama. I think that might happen here.
drama.
No, not necessarily, but a little movie moment. I think. I think Delane just with the ties with the LSU tie. I think the Bengals end up with him. I don't know
The
why.
LSU tie.
I just have this feeling that there's just such a really big corner need there. And then they obviously love LSU. I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to draw something that's there that isn't at all.
Uh,
But
I think they could use corner. My issue is I fear he's going to go to the Chiefs right before them,
yeah,
and or even maybe somebody earlier because I really do think that he's like a real shutdown, like elite type cornerback prospect. Like, I think I'm pretty sure I saw that he had like zero touchdowns allowed and zero penalties. I'm pretty yeah, 0 touchdowns and 0 penalties. That was what everybody was crazy about with Sauce Gardner when he came out of Cincinnati, and he did it at LSU against like real teams and
yeah,
real talent. Like it's, I think he's gonna be crazy. I think so, and so I just think he doesn't really have any like negatives to his game. I'm pretty sure he's like really good with like press, and he's good with like recovering from like good moves against press too, and he just jumps on the ball real quick. He's good. He's good.
yeah. And with him with the Bengals, I just think he's versatile. That's a bit some. The Bengals are going to be looking for somebody that can make a major impact on their defense quickly, um, at a pretty premier position, and a versatile guy. He's kind of what they're going to be looking for because just with how bad that defense is, every little piece that they add, they're gonna be looking for somebody that, like, almost acts as 2 guys out there, Like,
Yeah.
not necessarily, but just has that kind of impact where he can be a game changer, and I think he's the best corner in the class. And I think if he falls to them, I think that it's a match made in heaven. But, I one big source comment I did see here is an AFC scouting director says his coverage is very mature. He'll be one of the top 10 to 12 corners very quickly.
I believe that for sure, especially because we were talking about earlier, like people who like tend to just like bully on 18-year-olds. This guy had like
Yeah.
he broke out like his freshman year. He went to a different school. Like I don't remember where it was, but and he eventually transferred to LSU to play with the big dogs to improve
Yeah.
that draft stock. But yeah, he's always been good. I think he's gonna transition really well. and especially with the elite pass rushers like Shamar Stewart and Boye Mafe to help him out.
Yeah, and he, comes in at 6 flat, 187. They gave him a 6.77 and comped him to, Quinyon Mitchell.
Yeah, that feels good.
I
I
like
like
it.
that.
Yeah.
Somebody next that honestly, he's not above him in, like, ranking because of the injury. I think he really has what it takes to be, like, just as good, if not better than Deland, as long as he recovers from the ACL tear, and this is Jermod McCoy out of Tennessee. He,
Yeah.
he's gonna be 21 when he gets into the league, but I think he's got everything it takes to be, like, a lockdown corner. I've seen him, like, high IQ and, like, jump zones to be able to, like, bait quarterbacks into their areas, and, I don't he doesn't like he's great in, like, press, and he's another guy who, like, knows how to, like even when somebody, like, separates from him in coverage, he's able to, like, have the, like at least before his ACL tear, he was able to, like, have the speed to, like, get back into people who have won and gotten, like, releases from him, they can come back and make a play almost like, in a way that, oh, man, what's his name? The guy that was on the Saints for forever.
Honey Badger?
No, he went to Washington. Um, I'm terrible with names. Why do I do
Um,
this?
drawing a blank.
Doesn't matter. The guy that Mike Evans had a rivalry with.
Mm,
That's crazy. There's literally no way. Hold on.
I remember what you're talking about. Why am I drawing a blank on this as well?
I gotta put a mark here. I'm gonna cut this, but I gotta know who this guy is. Marshawn Lattimore. He's
Oh my goodness.
okay. Starting now, he has the ability to. I don't know what all I just cut. He has the ability to be able to get back into coverage with like a trail technique, even when he's beaten the way that like Marshawn Lattimore did, and he, he's like a big strength of his is he's really able to like keep up with guys downfield and to like there's a lot of guys you'll see that when they're downfield on a guy, they're more like surviving the situation rather than like being confident in it. When he's downfield with a receiver, he stays sticky and he doesn't get grabby and like he just does all the stuff correctly and he's very technically sound. And I think as long as he recovers from the ACL tear, which he received, I think last year I think he tore it last year and got to rehab it all season, and he got to a point where apparently he was, like, supposed to play, but they were, like, uncompetitive, and they didn't wanna, like, play the last 2 weeks or something, so they just told him, "Whatever, get healthy." But then he didn't participate at the combine, so it's like, that really could have been a time to prove that you're good, but I get why you wouldn't want to. That's tough.
Yeah, and it's just been so described as like his 3rd season was so much needed, and
Mhm.
you know, shit happens, I guess. But you know, we move.
Listen, I know I keep bringing up the Chargers list. I would love him on this one too because we have, like, good corners, we just don't have any, like, studs. So, like, if we get him and he's just not, what we want him to be, then we're at least not, like, dire in the cornerback room, but then upside is
Yeah,
we have, like, a true lockdown, and I think he can be the one, so
yeah. Comp is Tyson Campbell.
hater. He's actually solid, like, that's not even that bad, but
I have I don't even know if I really ranked a lot of these because, after the top guy for a lot of these positions, it's a grab bag, but I have Colton Hood
yeah.
next,
Yeah,
out
they
of
like Coleman
Tennessee.
too, but I feel the same. It's like clearly Delane's over, McCoy 'cause
Yeah.
there's no injury concern, but I do think they're, like, on the same plane. So, like, if you think he's healthy, then you should act as such, but then other than
Yeah.
that, if you don't think he's healthy, then you have Colton Hood as your next option, who, like, also was cornerback at Tennessee. He was holding down the fort while, Jermon McCoy was out, and he played in a very similar way. He's also, like, really good, like, in press and man and zone, all the same stuff. The difference with him is that, he did tend to, like, survive situations rather than, like, be confident in them downfield. He got, like, 4 more penalties, and he's a lot more grabby in coverage rather than sticky, and so you get a guy who, like, plays the same way and still has all the same capabilities, but he's just not gonna be as clean, and you might have to, like, coach some of that stuff out, but, I like him a lot too. There's some people who aren't as high on him. I think he could go to, like, somebody like the Seahawks late maybe, but I don't really know.
I also heard he has more of a problem with being more focused on the player than the ball.
Yeah, like, I think grabby and stuff too, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that does describe that, fair enough.
I've always thought that was a weak like, Casey Hayward always did that shit for the Chargers is he would be completely glued to you in coverage, and then they would just catch it anyway because he's not even playing the ball at all,
Yeah.
and it's like, what good is that, man?
Yeah, and I know you already kinda covered it. You get into penalty territory that way too. It's just it's not a good way to it's not sustainable at
Yeah,
all, I don't think.
agreed.
You get burned that way. Um, can't do that, but, I think he's solid. He was graded as a, 6.38, right in that range that we're at for most of these guys. That's will eventually be a plus starter. Um, He's, 6 foot flat also. I think most of these guys well, I mean, corner, is, around that area, so, 193. He
Oh,
ran
yeah?
the 44.44.
Let's go. It's plenty enough for me, man.
Yeah,
Get him out
I'll
there.
take it.
He's gonna be 21 as a rookie. Uh,
Yep.
his last season, he had an 11.4% missed tackle rate as a corner, which I think is pretty good, an improvement from 36.4 the year before that. Just
Wow.
yeah, it's he really cleaned it up. But
Yeah.
you're right, he's not, like, super fast. He's fast enough, I think, but
Yeah.
and he just doesn't have the best technique. So,
Yeah, I also
also like
think yeah, speed with corner, I'm more worried about placement, you're just like a
mhm,
really speedy corner. Yeah, it's absolutely useful. You're never gonna not want speed, but it's not all I'm more about, tracking ability, coverage, things like that. I'm more worried about focusing on that first. So I don't know. I think he's solid, but definitely maybe not even like a full tier. I think he's just a little step down, from the other guys. But again, you can kind of hang your hat on the youth, though. So
yep.
does he still have stuff he can learn? Does you know?
Yeah, I think he'll probably be better in, something a little bit more lax and, like, zone-based, so he doesn't have to worry about, like, playing the receiver like that in that way, but, we'll have to see. I think him and this next guy are kinda in, like, a tier together, if you're ready.
Yeah, let's talk about our South Carolina boy.
Oh, yeah, I didn't hear about this guy for a while, and I didn't even, like, originally bring him up when we made our list, but I think it's Brandon Cisse?
Yeah.
Is it Brandon for sure?
Yeah, it's Brandon.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, this guy, I think the reason he's skyrocketing boards is 'cause, he's got a specific scheme fit, whereas, like, he's, like, a really, like, man-driven corner,
Yeah.
and so, like, once you miss out on, like, the top 2 guys and you're just left with, like, the next few with, like, him and, Hood and Terrell and whoever else you have after that, Chris Rodriguez, and, after that, he just kinda you go for a scheme fit, so even I could see this guy getting, like, reached for in the early 1st round with his athleticism and his, man coverage ability, but that's only if you need that specific type of corner.
Yeah, I and that's his top highlighted strength is just explosive athletic ability. I mean,
Yeah, he's
it
crazy.
and they're highlighting his combine, vertical jump 41 inches, broad jump 10 feet 11 inches. I
Yeah.
mean, that's
Byron
crazy.
Jones type shit, man.
I think and with him specifically, I kind of wish he's not old by any means. But if you could couple like the youth of I forget his name
Yeah, he's
already.
20, dude. He's gonna be 21 when he plays as a rookie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's
Okay.
young as fuck.
Well, I didn't realize. I just it just gives you his class. So as a
Oh,
junior, I
yeah,
figured
yeah,
he was
yeah,
just
yeah.
gonna be, okay. Well, yeah, never mind then. That I do like
A lot
that.
of these corners are young, dude, like,
Yeah.
that's a good thing about this corner class coming out. There's not many they all young and they all have early breakout years, and I think that's
Mhm.
something to look out for.
Yeah. Well, with that though. whenever you come in with just like raw athletic abilities and trying to kind of hone that, that can be a positive moving into the NFL, or it can be a negative.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it really just has you just have to see how that translates with him. I
I
think
remember
corner, if with him being at least a decent corner, just at its base level, you can work with that. That's a position I think you can have that project with,
right.
and it's probably more.
Especially
Mm,
es especially with the way that coaches will, like, scheme into, like, quarters and stuff too and, like, take most of your assignments away and just, you know, like, then you just have to have the long speed,
exactly.
you know?
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, I think he's good. Um, do you wanna talk about Avion Terrell? Any?
Um, I mean, you know what? Since we're gonna talk about another brother later on, we might as well. Um,
Another brother.
yeah,
Crazy.
we'll just cover it real quick. Out of Clemson, it's AJ's brother. I've kind of heard that this guy's gonna be playing more nickel.
See, it's like I've seen mixed things on that, and it kinda
Hmm.
surprised me to see that because I know he plays a lot of outside stuff. My issue is I feel like his with, like he's pretty, like, small in, like, the weight category, and, like, he's 5'11" or something and, like, 180, but, he just kinda gets, like, bullied by bigger bodies, and I don't know that he can hang with, like, bigger outside receivers, so, like, yeah, so then you wanna put him at slot so he doesn't even have to worry about that, so then you can go against, like, the small, nimble guys, and, like, he's also a really good, like, tackler at times, so, like, that's good, but the problem with that also is that he tends to, like, get beat up on by, like, blocks, so it's like, are we, uh are we talking positionally homeless or no? It's I thought it was something you'd see it with the smile, but, no, and so I don't know what to do with the guy. I feel like his
Yeah.
strengths, considering he gets really grabby downfield too, so, like, you don't really wanna have him, like, work around the outside, and I'm not a big fan of this guy. I think other people are higher on him, and I could be completely wrong, but
Mm,
I don't think he fits in anywhere. And then if you're gonna draft him to be a nickel corner, I would much rather have D'Angelo Pons than
yeah.
Avion Terrell personally.
Well, and also to your point there, you mentioned moving him into the slot because he's not good outside. I wanna move a guy into a position because he's good at that position. I
Yeah,
don't wanna move a guy into a position because he's not good at this other thing.
yeah, he like has
That's
these
not
weirdo talents, and we just need somebody in the secondary. That doesn't work for me, man.
no,
I
no, especially when we're talking, we're talking a premium pick here, your
right,
top 3
the one you're
rounds,
not supposed to
that's
miss
not
on.
no,
No,
at all.
yeah, and
So
I did have some strengths for him. I don't want to just dunk on the guy, but
no, and I don't even think you're necessarily dunking on him. I there's just a big question mark
yeah,
with,
I, and it,
how his game's gonna translate.
yeah, he's, like, fast enough, and he's athletic enough, and that's kind of a lot of what you get, and it just, like I worry about I get, like, Emmanuel Forbes stuff, like, what's it called? PTSD,
Yeah.
and I know it's not that bad, that guy's, like, a buck 60, so, like, that's a whole other thing, but I just worry that he's not gonna hang, and I think somebody like D'Angelo Pons plays a lot stronger than him, and, I think
Do
he's go ahead.
Sorry, do you think that Avion is somebody that maybe you can use in disguise type packages?
Yeah, probably. I mean,
Yeah,
I feel like run fits are gonna be weird because like, he's gonna be a good tackler, like, after the catch, which is super useful, like, in the slot. It's just, like, if you get caught on a run play, then it gets tough,
yeah.
but what do you feel?
Yeah,
Do you think so?
yeah, I think of that as the one of the biggest uses for him is, because everybody's gonna know that he's at least pretty versatile,
Yeah,
that's kind of gonna be, in my opinion, one of his main uses is trying to trick the offense and just not knowing where this guy's gonna be at the end of the play.
getting him in different
Um,
slots. Maybe that would be good for somebody like the Dolphins later, or they have, like, the 31st pick, and they're desperate for some secondary, so
yeah,
maybe that'd be a good chess piece for them.
that I'm gonna firmly disagree with you
No,
there.
you don't like that?
I
Yeah,
think if
why
you
is that?
no,
Why is that?
if you're the Miami Dolphins and you look at your roster and you take Avion Terrell, fire everybody, bro. Fire
That's a good point.
everybody.
That's a good point. I feel you
Oh,
there.
Hard
I was
Rock,
like, I
sell
was
your
just trying to stick
rights.
up for the guy because I don't like him, but yeah, you're a whole they're like,
No,
we got no talent. We should take a big risk on a player we gotta reuse in a niche way.
no, and that's
That's our
not even
guy.
me trying to dig at him at all. That's me saying
Right.
that he's a very cool player. I think he
Yeah.
has a fit somewhere.
If
I
he falls
just
to the
don't
second,
know.
that would be great. That'd
I
be
just
awesome.
I don't know if a team that's a piece away or has a bad team, which that describes most of the
Mhm.
teams in the NFL. I don't know if you're in either of those positions if you want to take somebody like that. But
Yeah.
like you said, he falls to the second and now you've got good value behind it. Yeah, take it.
Yeah,
So,
I agree with that.
yeah.
Real quick on, let me go to my notes on Ponds,
Yep.
so we can talk about
Last
him a
thing
little
I'll
bit.
say, sorry, buddy, I don't think you're getting a 5th year
Who?
for Avion.
Oh, why is that?
Because he's gonna fall.
Oh, okay. I ruined that, my bad.
It's okay.
So Ponds he's kinda whittle, but, like, he's just, like I think he's very well coached, and I think even though he's small, like, he is another player who had a crazy combine, like, I think he's got longer arms, but I know he did, like, jump really high, and, super fluid athlete. I think he's got enough space to like gain weight if you want to. So like I could be like talking out of two sides of my mouth, talking about with D'Angelo Pons being like 182, but like I just think he plays stronger than Terrell, and he was also on like a much better like coached team, and he was a really important
Mm.
part of that. And like more importantly, he made big plays in big situations in big games, and like that's the kind of guy that I want on my team. And it's another guy that I think like first might be a little rich for me. I mean, he is a slot. He's probably going to be a slot corner, whereas I'm a lot more confident on his transition to being a slot, considering he's smaller. But
Mhm.
I I think you're getting somebody really good in the second, somebody really sound, and somebody coachable. And yeah,
I'm just gonna say it, man. Shorter than me is crazy. It's
bro,
crazy.
5'9" is plenty tall. What are you talking about?
Are you 5'9"?
Yeah,
There's no way
I,
I'm taller than you.
you might. I don't know. A doctor told me I
Whatever.
was 5'9". I got diagnosed as a short king, so
Well, damn, doctor told me 5'10",
the
so we'll take
doctor's
it.
orders, get some stilts, buddy. Gotta grab some platform shoes.
Hell yeah,
But
baby.
nah, 5'9" is massive and super tall. He's gonna be a great football player.
A peak athletic
Yeah,
specimen
peak
at
male
5'9".
form. Who's gonna have lower pad level than D'Angelo Pons? Not Aaron.
Even no,
Aaron won't at a staggering 5'10", no shot.
shut up. Oh, boy. Oh, I'm looking at my notes, and one of them was struggles to flip hips, and I read it flip flops. That's where we're at on this episode right now,
We're
baby.
doing great. We're an
No,
hour
but
50 into this shit, and
I do think we have a little bit to cut down, but
yeah.
yeah, he's solid. I think he is the best slot option in this draft.
I think there's a couple safeties I like in that, but, I didn't none that I put in my top 5 really, so I don't yeah.
I think this is a little bit of a
Oh,
top heavy.
I have an extra bid on Kamari Ramsey, who's like a slot, so I guess I do have one.
There we go.
There we go. Anyway,
Yeah.
ready to move on to these safeties?
Yeah, top we had a little top heavy cornerback class. So those bottom guys, a lot of question marks there, but I do think they're all still solid.
I think
We can
I'm gonna say 4 go round 1.
safeties
Yep.
or
No, corner.
corners. Corners, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we can move
3
on to
safeties. 3 safeties round 1.
yeah, I think we got a couple guys here, man. And
Mhm.
there's a need right now in the league. There's a couple teams that actually kind of need this. Maybe I'm noticing it more because I know my team needs a safety, and I'm looking around the league to see who the competition is in the draft this year for that. So maybe I'm just more aware of it this year.
Right. I
um,
mean, I'm s
but we can
for some reason, all of these safeties look really good. We could wait till day 3, really.
just like
Ah,
overanalyzing, like
guys,
watching dude.
the safety, the D tackle, and the edge class are so deep this year. What a coincidence.
Oh my god, yeah, receivers suck.
That is a
Just
dog
thinking like
shit. I don't want
every.
a receiver this class. Quarterbacks? Horrible. Running backs? We got 2.
Did you guys see how bad the head coach carousel was this year?
Real quick, did you see the Steelers signed, Travis Homer?
I did see this,
That's
yeah.
the most Steelers signing of all time, I think.
Caleb Johnson's done, man.
He always was, bro. I
I
was
mean,
so mad.
yeah, that's
I was going into my cousin's fantasy league being like, "Man, I got this sick sleeper on the Steelers. There's no way that what's his name's gonna be the number one." And then like I draft him, and then I'm like listening to a fantasy podcast on the way home, and the guy from BDGE, this was the episode where he changed his mind about Caleb Johnson, and I was like, literally driving home after my fantasy draft, and I pulled Caleb Johnson in the 7th. I'm like,
Oh
"You're
boy.
fucking you were telling me to draft this guy all off season." And then like, I was so shitty. And then he got like 2 snaps all year.
Shout out to BDGE.
Shout out to Caleb Johnson. Fuck you.
Shout out to Mike Tomlin
Yeah, shout out Mike Tomlin. Fuck you.
and
Shout
Arthur
out
is
Kenneth
fine.
Gainwell.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's a real shout out.
That's actually what happened is he was so good. So Caleb Johnson's getting the 2 spot next year.
Yeah, we'll fucking
We're
see.
talking about safeties. How do you like Caleb Downs?
Yeah, we'll move into the Ohio State boy Caleb Downs. This guy is I mean, they don't have him graded as such, but he's often talked about as the possible best player in the draft.
I don't like that.
Thoughts?
They don't have him. They don't have him graded as the best in the draft. But
No, Arvo Reese is graded as the best player
okay,
in
that
the
makes
draft,
more sense.
but he is the highest graded safety. I'm 99.999% sure. Let me just double check because there's only
I thought you were going to tell me that he wasn't graded as like a day one starter or something.
oh I don't agree with the prospect grade at all. I'll actually kind of start out here. His is a 6.47, which is will become good starter within 2 years. I fully disagree with that. I think Caleb Downs is ready to come into the league and really make an impact right away.
Yeah, I think that one's off for sure. I don't.
Um,
But I don't. I was equally cocky about Sonny Styles. Maybe all of Ohio State's overrated, and all these guys suck. And
that's, I
it's
mean,
it's possible, man. Like you
it
get all
very
these
well could
studs on
be.
the same team. Like they're not all elite, right? They can't be. And
Yeah. My thing with Caleb Downs that I just adore though is just his willingness to get involved in the run game as well. He's such a
him
well-rounded safety, man.
him as a tackler in general. Like I
Yeah.
saw like all the like you can't throw to the flats at all if he's on the field. Like cuz
No.
you're getting 1 yard. He just doesn't allow extra yards on catch like that. Like he's not getting like beat in coverage. They're just like they're checking it down and it doesn't matter. I haven't heard this comp at all. Bro looks like Derwin James to me, 100%. I cannot not see Derwin James because like it's the same thing. He like plays up close to the line of scrimmage. He gets like some like pass rush snaps where he's like blitzing, and that's totally a Derwin thing. Derwin always comes up with a full head of steam, ready to limit every play in the flat, and doesn't quite play like deep in coverage, and neither does Caleb Down. Like he's capable. They're both capable of doing it and like playing man coverage and stuff. They just don't usually, and that's not their plays. He just looks like Derwin, man. I
Yeah.
He's awesome. Big
I
fan.
like that. Yeah, I fully like that. The prospect page gives Jalen Petrie,
Yeah.
um, and I
Nobody can
think
beat
I
Derwin. I get it.
yeah, I no, I like that. I'm always just such a fan of the kind of grit players, and that's something that I feel like he has a lot of.
Yeah.
I mean, his brother does too. I mean, look at him just trying to get downfield, man. So I,
Honestly.
I I love watching Josh Downs play. I love watching him play. Cut from the same cloth, quite literally. So, I think
Same DNA.
he's a can't miss. I think. And
How early do you think he
little,
can realistically go?
I can go top five. Removing context on situations per team. If we were just talking about these guys, I think he could go top 5 talent-wise, but not
Yeah,
fitting in the situations, I don't think he's gonna go top 5. He's absolutely going top 10 in my
and he'll
opinion.
be
I
a
don't
steal wherever he lands for sure.
Oh, goodness, if you get him outside of the top 5, it is absolute steal.
I wanna say, like, please don't be a Chief, but, like, we're not getting yards after catch anyway, so
Yeah, I mean,
I guess with
I
McDaniel, we probably are. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, okay, please
yeah.
God, don't be a Chief. Please take Mansour Delane instead.
Yeah,
That
right.
yeah, that'd be great. Here I am coping. No, they're gonna take, like, Jordan Tyson, and it'll be a best case scenario, and he's just, like, banged up all the time. This is not a mock episode. Any more on Caleb Downs? I always wanna call him Josh. This is gonna be the worst.
No, I think I accidentally brought up Josh and then just had to, like, kinda fit that in a
Think of Josh Downs trying to get open against Caleb Downs. He can't.
conversation. Oh, I didn't even think about that.
One day, hopefully, man. If he goes to, like, the Titans or
Oh.
something, that'd be nasty.
Oh, that would be fun,
That'd be so
dude.
cool.
Wow. We can
Body
move on,
his
though.
big bro every year.
We can move on to who, another bear,
The
another
actual future
possible
bear,
bear.
yeah.
This one very much so. Just found out today, actually, that this guy's from Westfield, Indiana.
No shit? Oh,
Yep.
bear. Bear that
Yeah.
man.
Colt that man, honestly. But
Fuck
no,
that.
bear that man for
He's not
sure.
falling to the second round where the
Dylan
Colts are
Thieneman.
drafting.
I like Dylan, out of Oregon.
Shout out AJ.
He yeah,
This is AJ's guy.
AJ's gonna have a lot to say. We're gonna have our pal AJ on in probably a month or so, once we get closer to the draft, and, I can't wait to hear him rave about this guy.
He's gonna draft him, like, 6th overall or something.
I I love this. 306 tackles and 8 interceptions in 3 seasons.
Amazing.
Like, that's a lot.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
nasty.
I don't normally care about tackle numbers and stuff like that, but just seeing that's kinda cool, you know?
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
but I think that there is and maybe I'm just speaking to the people that are over exaggerating or exaggerating about Caleb Downs maybe, but I think the difference between these 2 guys is a little smaller than some are kind of making it out to be.
Yep.
I think Dylan's absolute it's not like 1 and then, oh, and then here's the rest of the list where it starts.
Mhm.
If anything, it's like right here, you
Yeah.
know?
I
I
think
think it's 1A, 1B.
No, yeah, I think Caleb's a hair overrated, and then Dylan's pretty underrated, honestly, and I think this all comes down to, like, flavors again, too, like, if you want that, like, dominant, like, plays around the line of scrimmage guy who's just gonna limit every play, like, then you're gonna want Caleb Downs, and then if you want somebody who's, like, can play more rangy and limit on, like, the scramble drill and stuff like that, you get Dylan Thieneman. He's got, all the athleticism to, like, play over the top. He was an All-American his freshman year when he played at Purdue, by the way. I don't know why I didn't look up where he was from. I should have when I read that, I should have looked it up. But,
Yeah, right down the road.
they asked him to move down to the box, and he had, like, like, not as great of a season. Transferred to Oregon, stayed in the box, and really refined his skill set as, like, a run defender, and, I think he's really good at, like, when he's, like, sitting in zone, he's good at, like, noticing when the quarterback is gonna be scrambling, and he attacks that as soon as possible, and he's really, really good
Mhm.
at that stuff. So I think the best, like, I heard in a draft profile say he's probably best in quarters. That way he's not, like, so heavily dependent on being the, like, center field safety, so that way he can have the flexibility to go, like, a stop in the run and, like, the draws and, like, the scrambling quarterbacks and stuff like that too, but then he's also, like, athletic enough to be a, like, rangy free safety if he wants to.
I'm so glad you brought that up. Thank you,
Which
because
part?
that Bears fans, the willingness to have an eye for a scrambling
Yep.
quarterback, and Bears fans, listen, Bears Twitter went nuts when, I forget who it was, but a mock draft came out and went nuts. A safety? Bears are not taking a safety in the first round.
Dude,
No, it went crazy.
dude,
This that
dude.
that right there is exactly why I think it's a good move for them, because all this talk about these edges can't get to the quarterback, that helps so much. So,
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
so much.
When they can just,
And
like, win on their pass rush and then not get beaten to death by scrambles, yeah, that's important. That's
yeah,
big for sure.
yeah, and, getting to the quarterback in different situations, it's not, we're not just worried about edge all the time. I understand that the numbers with some of these guys getting to the quarterback last year weren't the best. We understand all of that, and that's why you don't have to be looking at just this one position. I think you pull a little bit of weight off of even Montez Sweat's shoulders to where maybe he can play a little bit more free. I don't know. I think he has that kind of ability is something that's very much going to be able to help out the Bears very quickly. I know one thing I have heard about Dylan, and this is kind of speaks to, maybe not being super traditional, is I know, as a route progresses, he doesn't follow he can't track through the whole thing, he's
Mhm.
not on a guy's ass
Yeah.
24/7,
I think that's
you
why
know?
they preferred him in quarters too, is you get to that point where you're just kinda grabbing a guy instead of having to, like, see the back end crosser, play against, like, concepts like that,
Yeah.
but on tape, like, you can see him, like, making a lot of, like, communication towards his, like, DBs and the rest of his defense, so, like, I think he can be, like, a leader on the defense for a defense that kinda is gonna be experiencing turnover. That's probably pretty important for, like, the Bears' case, if he even lasts that long. I think he's gonna get drafted in the teens personally, but
Yeah.
yeah, he's just good, and I my one little weakness is I feel like he's a little conservative, like, he's a good tackler, but his angles are super conservative, and to make sure that he'll, like, get the tackle, sometimes he'll give up a lot of extra yards and take, like, a weird angle, but I don't like that, like, that's just really nitpicking stuff, but, I think that's it, and I really like him a lot. I think anybody would be happy to get him, and I've mocked him to the Cowboys at, like, 12 sometimes, and that's, like, really
Mhm.
high. I'd have no problem with that value.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think that's anything crazy.
Mhm.
I do think his stock's kind of rising as people are paying a little bit more attention to the draft, because I was seeing him mocked
Combine,
to the
baby.
Bears all the time, like early season, or not really early season, but like once it was kind of obvious we were getting a later pick, I was seeing him mocked like into the 20s. I'm not seeing that as much anymore. I don't know. It really kind of depends, how this board falls. Watch it just be the exact opposite from what we're thinking, and Raiders trade the first pick, and
Yeah, they're actually gonna take Garrett Nussmeier first overall. They like that he's an OC. They need a clipboard guy for, checks notes, Aiden O'Connell.
oh boy, I forgot about him.
Uh, honestly. I've been mocking this third guy to your Bears now that, Thienemann's, stock has been going up so high. Have you looked into, Emmanuel McNeil Warren?
I am so because of everything I said, just how much Thieneman is going to be able to help out all of our defense, not just the safety hole. I've just been so hopeful that he ends up a Bear.
You're not
That
even
I
thinking about the third option?
Not at all,
Dude,
not at
you're
all.
gonna be sorely disappointed. Like, I was
I
gonna be
know.
like, I've really been seeing him getting mocked, like, it's like chalk to mock him to the Vikings, and, like, that just makes way, way, way too much sense.
Yeah, it
They
really
lost Cam
does.
Bynum, they lost Harrison Phillips, they're yearning for a safety, and they need a new exciting white in the building.
Hey, Ryan Poles is very trade happy.
True, I mean, that is true, he might honestly, does it ruin his value if you trade up to, say, like, I don't know, the Jets at 16?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think if the need is there bad enough, it's fine. Same exact argument that I made with the, Jalen Waddle Denver Broncos.
Mhm.
It's
You're getting a player
it's the
good
same
enough
exact,
that you're cool with it.
and you need it that bad.
Yep.
You need it that bad to where an overpay really isn't just it really isn't an overpay. You need it. So, and I think, Thieneman and Kobe Bryant, that'd be sick.
That would be sick. That'd
That'd
be a
be
good
awesome.
duo. But,
But it's actually gonna be this guy.
it's gonna be
You're
this
right.
guy and Kobe Bryant, yeah, and, I like this guy too. I feel in, like I think he's also able to play in, like, a two-high system, like, sort of like some, like, Fangio stuff. I don't know what Dennis Allen does, but, he's just his problem is he's a little bit slower. He's just not quite he doesn't have, like, really great long speed, and he's not great like, he can't play free safety. That's, like, not an option for him.
Yeah.
And not super great in man coverage either. But I've seen him get comped to like Nick Worry. He can play all over the front, like inside the box and close to the ball. He is really prone to the peanut punch. He has like a really good eye for it. Like if he's ever, like literally ever, if he's like the second person to the ball, he's trying to punch it out. And it's just good to have like somebody who wants to create turnovers like that. But
9 career forced fumbles.
what's up?
9 career forced
Yeah, that's
fumbles.
crazy. Oh, and he also is another player who had a young breakout. He broke out in 2023 when he first started getting attention.
Did we ever officially say that it's Emmanuel McNeil Warren?
Yeah, yeah. I brought him up and then
Okay.
deflected saying,
My bad.
"No, no, no, not you." No, it was funny. You were like, "Honestly, bro, I don't even want to think about that guy being on my team." I just
I didn't know if you actually said his name when we were talking when I
No,
said
you're good. You're good. You're
oh,
good.
well. Yeah, um, I'd be very much happy with that, and honestly, I'm sorry to throw it back into a Bears thing, but, I mean, they do want those turnovers. I mean, that was a big part of the
Yeah.
defensive identity last year, so, I mean, that
All
might be
teams do.
somebody. Yeah, that's fair.
All
Yeah.
teams want good tacklers. He's got like I feel he only has a 10% missed tackle rate, which is like about where you want, but like he just doesn't have like the best technique. He's also just like so tall and long. He's 6'3" and he's got 32-inch arms. Like
Mm.
he's crazy long for a safety. So like sometimes it's just difficult to like get your pad level low enough, and maybe you can probably work on that. But yeah, I mean he's got those long ass arms. He can make some plays with those arms.
Um, yeah, I know he hasn't necessarily you already kinda spoke on this, but he hasn't been described as, versatile. So, another one of those guys, once you get to the, number 3 at a position in a draft, that like you said, you're gonna have these specialized guys, but you're gonna have to sacrifice a little bit of versatility with them. But yeah, I think he's solid, and he brings a little bit of a unique aspect to the position.
Yeah, I think so too. I think like you don't always got to be super fast to play the position. I always think of
No,
like George Iloka. I don't know if you ever knew him, but he was like a
that's not
Madden goat because he was like 6'4", so he'd always have like a really fun like ultimate team card and stuff. And
yeah.
yeah, it's awesome. The next we could probably just talk about like macro for the next few guys. I kind of snuck Jalen Kilgore into my top here with the top four. I like him a lot. He's like a nickel type safety. He's like really fluid in like man coverage, and he's like got a. You can see him like watching the quarterback's eyes and zone. I think he's got exactly what you want out of like a rangy safety like that. And considering it's kind of a safety class full of like tacklers and box players and stuff. I think could be
Yeah.
a nice get. Um, he's also
Yeah.
got 33-inch arms at 6'1", and he's aggressive at the catch point. So I could see him making some big plays. Uh,
Yeah. He, another South Carolina guy, posted 8 interceptions and 21 pass breakups in 3 seasons.
crazy, crazy shit.
Dog.
Next one's AJ Halsey at LSU. Played with our boy Delane. So
Yeah.
uh, he's also another one that's kind of slow. Not the best tackler, but he has an ability to like bait quarterbacks pretty good. And he goes to like what I'd consider to be DBU. So a little bit of helmet scouting. I would like to have Halsey too. I think he's smart and instinctive, and can create turnovers with bad quarterback decisions.
Yeah, 12 pass breakups, 8 interceptions over the last 2 seasons.
What a dog.
Pretty solid. Yeah,
What a
pretty
dog.
solid.
He
And
transferred from somewhere, I can't remember where. I wanna say
uh,
West Virginia, but I
mm,
I could just be completely wrong about that.
and he ran a 4.52 at the 40. That's not I'm not freaking out.
It's, like, acceptable level for a receiver.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. Like, honestly, because if you're running slower than a 4.5 at safety, you're just not running. So,
Yeah.
it is what it is. If as
Yeah.
long as he's running, he's fast enough, man, and then, I took a look at, Kamari Ramsey. I don't even have what school he went to. I forgot to include that. But, he kinda plays in the slot in the box as well. A little bit scheme independent, can play all over the place. He's pretty decent in, like, man coverage. He just is not a great tackler, really. Just doesn't have the instincts for it.
Gotcha.
Those are our day
Yeah.
2 safeties, so
Yeah. I think Caleb and Dylan are going in the first, and then I could see Emmanuel going in the first as well. I don't think it's as guaranteed as the other 2.
I also think he's a good, like, Seattle guy. They lost a
Yeah.
safety. I could see them going after somebody like that for sure, except that he's
Did they?
comped to Eamon Worry, and then they also already have Devon Witherspoon, who's a similar type of player. Getting a little weird there, so maybe not.
Seattle lost a safety. Hmm.
Probably just some bum.
Probably not actually.
Yeah, I bet he actually sucks really bad at football.
Certainly he doesn't have a legendary name or anything, right?
No, no.
No. Kobe Bryant playing in
Never
Chicago?
never heard of her.
So, would you be able to kind of, say definitively that Sonny is your favorite prospect?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I thought
I'm
so.
so infatuated with what he's got going on this year. I like him a lot. Who are some other my favorites?
You think we could get a back-to-back linebacker
Ye
deep or,
yeah, you know what?
rookie
Yeah, oh, absolutely. If
defensive
he goes
rookie of
to
the year?
Tennessee, he's my pick 100%. Fuck
Yeah.
the rest, I don't even care. Arvell on the Jets, no. Ruben Bain on the Commanders, fuck out of here. Don't care. Sonny Styles, styling on the rest of the rookies. So we went over the offense and defense. Who are some of your favorite prospects?
Yeah, I really haven't kind of fallen in love with anybody
No?
publicly.
Oh shit.
Publicly on the show, I mean.
Oh, okay.
I haven't really gushed over anybody.
Wow.
I think if there were to be somebody though, and it's just because of the impact he's able to have at a position that people were like, "Oh, not a Caleb Downs, man." I just think that guy's gonna
Me
be
too.
able to come in and show everybody why this I don't know, safety's been kinda dogged on the last couple years, and
It
I
was
don't like
done.
that, man. It's a very important position in the game, and, especially the way I've seen some people kinda treat the Bears situation after I was fine with losing all the safeties, but I wasn't like, "Oh, well, they're just safeties," because I was, like, in the middle where I'm like, "Wait, no, like, I also disagree with these guys, but what the fuck are you saying? What do you mean they're just safeties?"
Like,
So
safeties are super important. We'll just find them, okay? We're fine.
yeah,
This
right,
is a deep
yeah,
safety class too. I've been seeing, Dane Brugler was talking about it the other day. I was like, "Oh, man, are the Bears cooking? Are they actually cooking, letting all these guys go and signing no" well, I guess they signed Kobe Bryant, but
yeah, but
whatever.
yeah, but
They're gonna
well,
draft they're gonna draft Omar Cooper and D'Angelo Pons and,
trade up for Mendoza.
yep. They're gonna give him Caleb Williams.
Yeah, just fucking
Like, we need a guy
just
with
give him
less painted nails and more business.
yeah. You know what's funny is Bears there's this demographic of Bears fans that would love if we did that.
I'm sure it's a
They'd be
big one
so
too.
happy. You
The
know?
backwoods Indiana ones? You mean the
Shout out my Bears fans.
yeah, shout out and whatever. There are more of
Yeah,
them than Chargers fans.
I
That's pretty
yeah,
cool.
I'd probably have to say Caleb Downs is and that's a cliche pick, but I don't care. I'm a cliche sometimes.
No, it's
I
a good
like him.
one, honestly. I mean, and he's been the guy ever since he got there, man. I get
People gonna
that for
respect the
sure.
position.
I, I don't know. I like McCoy. McCoy's the risk I wanna take. I think he's sick. I think ACL injuries have gotten to a certain point where we're okay moving on from him. I know it's crazy with corner, and I know that it can really make him unathletic. I just think he's instinctual enough and plays the game well enough and is like he has, like, a certain level of calm when he plays that I just don't think it's gonna matter.
Yeah.
I like McCoy a lot. And I think considering the injury, you can get him at great value. He might even fall today too, which, oh my god, pull that shit so fast if he falls today too. I'm talking a while. You got anything to finish out on? Or
I do not. I just did want to touch really quick and touch on what we got coming up. Next week we will be having our boy Sean join us again. We're gonna do a mock
what?
draft. So that will probably be 90% of next week's episode is just mock draft. Probably cover, maybe if there's any breaking news or anything like that. And then, yeah, if
Shay's
there,
inevitable MVP candidacy, probably.
we'll definitely be covering
You,
that.
you got Luca over him, or
I don't know, man. Luca kind of came into the conversation so late, and then now has had back-to-back stinkers, and
oh
it's like
well,
I don't know.
shit,
It's been kind of weird.
that sucks,
Yeah, I
bro.
don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I think especially with the Cade Cunningham injury, I don't think he was ever
That
serious.
sucks,
It
dude.
really
That
does.
sucks so bad. Like,
Very, very badly. I don't necessarily think he was gonna win it. I
but
personally,
he
I just
can't even
don't.
like get awards
Not
now.
Not yeah. Oh, yeah, speaking on that, yeah, that's stupid, and
That
they need
needs
to
to
get rid of that
stop.
rule, I think. Yeah, I understand the idea behind the rule,
Sure.
and it's really kind of like the Joel Embiid rule,
Yeah.
low key. They really should have named this the Joel Embiid rule,
Joel ruined the league.
but yeah, and
Great.
I understand the premise behind it, but then you get situations like this where it's like, I don't care if that guy didn't make the minimum games, he fucking deserves to make an
Yeah.
All NBA
We've said
team.
it before too, like, it's baked into the equation. Like, obviously, we're gonna look and see if you
Yeah,
played enough
we
games.
already consider
Like,
that.
who even cares? Why put a hard line on it? And it's like because it's even like you make the rule for, like, MVP and stuff, but then it, like, has this trickle down effect because you can't even get, like, all NBA if you don't have the games, right?
Yeah, you can't get
Yeah.
it fucking jack shit.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, you're just erased from the season's history when, like, literally dude was, like, the favorite to win MVP a few weeks ago. Like, that's so trash.
A
No.
and he's, like, the fucking reason the Pistons have had this bounce back,
Literally.
like, it's
Him and the
ridiculous.
Duran breakout, yeah.
I'm yeah, well, yeah, Duran's yeah, I don't mean to downplay because they're gonna be just fine.
But
They're
it's
gonna be
different.
good. It's way different, especially if he can't come back at all.
Yeah, also, like
I
yeah, if he comes even coming back late to the playoffs, man, like, that could just sink him. Go down, like, 2 games and he's coming back or something, like, that's tough.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's what we got for next week. We'll be doing
Yeah.
the mock draft.
Alright, we're at 220.
And
Yeah.
then and comment if you have any off-season ideas, anything you want to hear from us, anything like that. If you listen this far, genuinely I appreciate you
You're the
so
man in the
much.
flesh
You're fucking
person.
insane. I love you, PJ. Thank you.
Yeah, right, that dude
I'm
doesn't
just
care
kidding.
anymore. I was dogging on the Colts picking in the 2nd round, and he turned it off.
Oh boy. All right. Well, yeah. Peace, y'all. It's
Chop,
been
chop.
fun. Chop. Stop.
Stop the chop.
Bye. Bye.